Where the fuck is McClay?
Bryan can answer our question.
What's up?
Where the fuck is McClay? The Bogcast wants to know.
That's hilarious.
Dude, that
He
was awesome.
totally just asked that and you popped on.
Dude, it was
that
perfect, dude.
fucking
He
perfect.
nailed it, man.
Wow, that was bad.
Keithobit fucking nailed it, dude. Good job, buddy.
Episode 96 of the Bogcast, Chris Martin.
Sweet, just got that down. All right, audio is recording. Action.
If you ever see me like licking off in the distance, I'm not spacing out. I'm just making sure that we're still
stoned,
recording.
Man.
Awesome. This is the Bogcast. I'm Keithobit with my best friend, Bryan-mcclay. We are brought to you by Bang Salon. Come get all your hair needs, including cuts, natural colors, vivid colors, extensions, shampoo and stylings, all under one roof at Bang Salon. Find and message Bang Salon on Instagram at Bang Salon at BANGDSALON. Use promo code
Bogcast.
for 20% off your first visit. So come on down and get banged by Jordan. But if you really try to bang her, I'll fucking kill you. Cool.
Check us out on Spotify and Google, iTunes and Google Play and all your favorite podcatchers. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/thebogcast. If you guys want to support us, that's how you guys can support us. $36 a year is the lowest tier, and it'll help us out. So go check it out. Check out the Timmy D. Get your own Ladmo bag. Like and subscribe.
That reminds me, I gotta look up really quick, like while we're doing this, but we do have a new Patreon member, and part of the $3 a month is you get a shout out. So we need to do a shout out at the end of the show.
Shit.
So
All right.
I got that in my notes
yeah.
here. So anyway, we have an awesome reoccurring guest today. One of me and Brian's favorite guests.
All right.
He's a man of many things. He has a documentary about him on Amazon Prime called Haters Make Me Famous. Fucking awesome book called One Life that I fucking finished. It was amazing. And owner of Hempful Farms, Convicted Creations that you're doing now.
Keep
all
going.
kinds of shit. Yeah. Anyway, what's going on, man?
Man, slamming, trying to survive this COVID shit. Trying to survive this pandemic, whatever they're calling it today. Just trying to stay safe and keep my family safe and keep my business open.
So what has the industry been with the pandemic now?
Oh, man, we've closed Youngtown location.
Yeah.
My New Mexico location's closed. The cafe's closed. We had to kind of pull back the reins a little bit and really focus and regroup on marketing and distro and make some COVID changes. And
Maybe like online sales, or
we started online 9 years ago, thankfully. So online has exploded, but we just had to redirect the dynamic of business. Retail's kind of going downward with this thing going on. So we really focus online now and just make sure the customers and patients can get what they're looking for and give them the information still they need, but just try to dance around this COVID situation the best we can.
Yeah, that's about all you can do. The crazy times keep getting crazier. We were talking about it earlier, and it's just one thing after the other. But the important thing is that still, to me, and I was just talking to I was in the dispensary the other day, getting some goodies, and we were in there talking, and I was talking to the bud tender, and I said, you know what? Every time I walk in this place, I'm thankful for at least this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there are some things that is wrong with it, but at least we can sit here and have a good conversation, smoke a joint, and do it legally.
I think about that once a week. I'm just like, holy shit, I still can't believe I could go to a store and get weed.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, we're not complaining. We're glad to be open.
Yeah.
We're glad to be working at all. For those that aren't, our heart goes out to you. But we are thankful that we have a position whatsoever.
And what's also even more amazing is every single day new literature and new discoveries are coming about the benefits of CBD.
Absolutely.
And in America, I really think that the hemp crops and making money off of the hemp crops can be something that flips this country.
Jack Harris said it. Hemp will save our planet.
Yes.
I mean, we just got to let it happen. the problem is the corporatization of everything. It's just like tobacco and alcohol. The suits want to jump in front of it and
Big pharma.
destroy it before we can.
Do we talk about the history of this last time? I don't know if we should have
We-
him drop some knowledge bombs. I know we've talked about it,
Yeah.
but as far as why hemp is so far behind the times with
Well, really, it's just corporatization and the regulatory capture that we're seeing. I'll give you.
well, I mean, as far back as like that. What was that guy's name from the 30s?
William
Yeah.
Randolph.
William
Hearst.
Hearst, yeah, with the newspapers. I mean, honestly, they, like with my family, we were required to pay taxes with hemp. Our forefathers grew hemp on the East Coast, and that was the way we paid taxes. It was mandatory. I have a $10 bill hanging in Hempful Farms right now that's printed on hemp. It's from the 1913 Federal Reserve, and it depicts a hemp farm on the back of it. So it's not like our government doesn't know what hemp does. Actually, the shirt I had on earlier when I was doing yard work has one of the patent numbers that the government owns on cannabis as a neuroprotectant in the brain since 1961. So, I mean, it's not like they don't know what this stuff does. They just can't patent the plant overall. You can't own a tree.
Yeah.
You can't patent a rose
Yet.
bush.
Yet.
So, yeah, exactly. So they're just pushing their
Yeah.
way in. That's really what's going on here. Little story with my company. When the Farm Bill passed, we had been in business for almost 6 years at that point, doing normal business like a normal company. The Farm Bill passes, all of a sudden we lose processing, we lose banking. We had a Arizona credit union account for 9 years with Hempful name. We own the trademark for Hempful. We've done business completely legitimately this entire time. Farm Bill passes, all of a sudden I can't bank, I can't process. But if you notice, at that same time, they transitioned to where you could go to CVS and you could go to Walgreens
Yes.
and you could buy big corporate CBD all day
Yes.
long. They didn't have problems banking whatsoever. Those regulatory type capture situations that people don't recognize that or realize what's happening. And it's not, oh, yay, we legalized hemp. It's like, oh, shit, we legalized hemp. That's how I see
people
it.
are realizing
Yeah.
how important it is and the power that financial, health, everything that comes with it. I mean, shit, the things that we can. It feels like it would be one of those things that turn us into a producing country again.
Absolutely.
But the sad thing is that there's also politics involved, and whenever there's politics involved, there's fuckery involved.
Well, how do you make money on something that you can't patent that's in such high demand? Make it illegal.
Yep.
I mean, now they can burn the wick at both ends. They're going to get paid from the states that legalize it. They're going to get paid from the prisons and probation, the court systems, and they're going to get paid on the state legalization side. So, I mean, why would you ever change a thing?
Yeah.
Keep it fed illegal. We make all this money on prisons and contracts and private situations, and I can make it when the states decide to legal at their own leisure. So, I mean, they're really making hand over fist. I don't see. Everyone gets mad because they haven't legalized it, and I understand that. I get it, but don't you see what they're doing? It's slow playing. I mean, what in the world? Why would they change anything? And
on top of that, the propaganda that they say against
spit
it,
out
which
there
is-
with
yeah,
it. Yeah,
it's like fuck.
and people eat it
And
up.
then people eat it up, and then you're trying to convince them, and
Yeah.
it's like,
You slam your head into a brick wall. It's a lot like our state. Arizona's a lot like that. I've been here for 26 years. I've been making edibles in this in the state and counties for 10, 11 years now, and I'm about done. I love Arizona, and I think I'll always have business here. But they make it very difficult for you to thrive and strive
Yes.
here and be successful, unless you're already a millionaire, zillionaire that sits at the right table. Other than that, it's a uphill climb. And
yeah, it's because like there's already these millionaire yuppies who fucking hedge these hedge funds,
well,
and had money that got
Canadian
into
money,
it, or, or
you name it, they all come in here and they
Middle
take
Eastern
it
money
over.
probably.
You've heard the old adage, you got to have money to make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's pretty true in the industry. You really do. Like, I mean, I came into this with a bag full of molds and some chocolate.
I know, that's
Like,
why we respect
you know
so
what I
much on there,
mean?
man.
Like,
you came up fucking.
I did. I
Yeah.
literally sat at my living room table with some club members, and we were literally hitting the bong. And a buddy threw a Sweet Tart logo or a Sweet Tart packet from Willy Wonka's Sweet
Yeah.
Tarts. He ripped it open, threw it on the table. When that W landed on the Onka, it was sideways, and I went Zonka. That's the best fucking edible name, because I just love parody stuff. I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
great. And we literally came from nothing. My Gooder bar was created because the chocolate almost seized on me because I didn't have a walk-in. I worked out of my kitchen at home. It snowed outside. I put the sheet pan outside so the chocolate would set, and it got wet when it started snowing. So I almost lost all this chocolate. We ended up covering it with peanut butter and granola and cappuccino powder and shattering it and weighing it by the pound. It was phenomenal. Completely lucky. I mean, literally, we came from, just
like a happy accident.
Oh yeah, stoned and hungry. I mean, it was great. We had the munchies. It tasted good. But to watch these other companies come in here and never have experience, don't know a thing about running a kitchen, a grow, and then to talk down to people like me who will give their life, their freedom, their
really
family. I mean, you call it SOP. I call it lifestyle. I call it, that's how we run shit. You know what I mean? It's a SOP to you because you don't know what you're doing. To me, it's a lifestyle. It's a standard. It's how it should always be done. And to say you don't have a part of that in the state is just so frustrating, man. You see it, everything from, renting a space in a kitchen and trying to protect your IP from everyone to just bringing lineage online. And next thing you know, they want to change the name to it without telling you. Like, what in the... I've never worked with such crooked, shady shit in my life.
Well,
it's frustrating here.
Let me play devil's advocate, or just
Please
throw some dynamite in there. Is that always going to be there though? Even if something miraculous happens, they go, it's all legal.
Right.
You can make money, you can grow what you want, sell what you want. It's just based on what's the best shit out there and the people in their community or something. But there's still going to be that fuckery of people going, I'm going to make the money.
Well, I think if it's legal across the board and you can grow it in your yard, who cares what the neighbor's doing? In my opinion, I wouldn't care so much what everyone else had going on or that competitive race if I could just do it in my house.
I agree.
It wouldn't matter to me what kitchen I was in or whose shelves I was on because you could come to my door.
Yeah, but you're different. You're different.
I like that. At first it used to be weird being different, but it's growing on me. You know what I mean? I don't mind it so much anymore.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good quality to have, I think.
I came from a good place, you know what I mean? My parents grew weed and I didn't know the difference. I thought that was normal. You got sick, you took some of mommy's tea. If you burned your arm, you put her salve on your... I didn't know that it was bad or cannabis or illegal or any of that shit.
Ignorance is bliss.
It was mom's salve, you know what I mean? They used to hang in the attic. And then when I was a kid and I was in my first grow dry room, I smell that. Oh shit, that's what mom had hanging in the attic the whole time when I was like 8.
I wish, that's one of my biggest wishes, is that we could just grow our own plants, because I would just grow plants in my house.
That's my goal. That's my
That would
goal.
be amazing.
That's all I want. Well, let's talk about a little bit, because you've been doing some traveling. We don't need to say where, but you've been doing some traveling around and looking at places, and it seems like there are some places in the United States that are doing some things right.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
I want to know what the future of Hempful Farms is here in Arizona.
Well, we're not going to go anywhere.
Okay, cool.
I mean, Hempful's
Okay.
always going to be here.
Okay.
It just doesn't have to be my permanent home all the time. When a state doesn't welcome what you do or your family, it's sometimes it becomes a challenge. It becomes that I have to conquer this and make this right and fix it. You can't always win those battles, it feels like to me. I think we have a great customer base here. The number one reason Hempful does anything that we do is because of the customers. I don't spend millions of bucks on magazines and news or commercials or any of that stuff. All my referrals come in from word of mouth. It's all people that, like you guys, sending people in. Go try this stuff. What is this about? That's really why we're here. And I don't think we would ever lose that or shut that down. It's just right now I carry a huge overhead to do a lot of processing. And in order for me to get products on the shelves in the dispensaries here, you have to battle these big corporate people that are all of a sudden now doing all their own white label. All of a sudden doing their own brand. Never mind the mom and pop guys that have been here 10 years building their facilities and, breaking their necks to get all this equipment to come in and start doing it right. Mind you, one of the only companies that's been testing this whole time, 200 pieces of evidence against me in my Zonka raid were test results. They didn't even require testing until this November.
Wow.
That was 10 years ago. So to throw someone out or at least not make them feel welcome that's busted their ass so long to do it right without a rule, without the state or someone telling you how it needs to be done, especially guys that like them that don't know, it's just super frustrating. So yeah, we've we've had some opportunity in other states where my thought process was this: I'm either going to contract manufacture my product in other states, so at least it gets seen, it gets out there. I don't have to make all this money. It's not about me controlling it and me making I just want people to eat it. I want people to have the chocolates. I want to try it.
Yep.
It was either contract manufacture or licensing agreement. If I can license it and just make a little royalty in a piece, then I feel like I've succeeded. I feel like that 6 years in prison and court and 10 years on paper and all that other stuff wasn't in vain, and it was purposeful. Well, I went to, Colorado was our first choice, just obvious reasons, I think, and weather, beauty, the opportunity. But Colorado's really been on lockdown since COVID. So to even apply to get our MIP kitchen built is not going to happen until they get rolling again. So we've kind of been on a holding pattern there. And you know what it's like when life changes directions. You're like, you got this plan. This is what I see it doing and how we're going to get there. And then in a week, it's like, wait a minute, total change. Mm-hmm. I get a call from a gentleman who saw our branding and saw some of the stuff we were doing online. And he is a nutrients salesman. He sells a big line of nutrients for a big company in California. And he's like, man, I've followed you for so long. I've followed your story, Facebook, Instagram, all this cool stuff. And I just want to help you. I want you to meet this group in Michigan that I think you would fall in love with. And man, I got to tell you, some people know you and some people don't have a clue. And this guy just knew. Like, I flew out, I meet these guys, and it's like your high school friends. It's like, when you're hanging out with your buddies and you're having a beer and it's everyone just talking shit and calling names and just almost high school, juvenile in an aspect. But what guys do when they get together, I haven't seen or had that in so long. It just felt like I landed back home. That's felt cool. Like it just right away it clicked. It was really neat too, because these guys are family. Most dispensary groups I don't even want to go visit, because it's this pretentious, uptight bunch of pearl wearing people that me and them don't get along. Not all of them. I'm not talking trash, but for the most part, you go in these groups and it's just like, oh, I'm at the wrong table. This is not the table I want to sit at. I get up there and it's a bunch of guys like us that took all of their savings, everything they've worked hard for, and put it together and said, let's make it happen since our state's going to go legal. And they just happened to put out some of the top quality product up there. To me, that's number one. You have to be a family first, but if you can't produce a good product together, then you're not a family. That product was on point. So strike one and strike two were home runs out of the park. I'm like, man, these guys are nailing it. And my wife even brought it up. She says, Chris, every trip you go on, you always call me with a reason of why it's not cool, why there's something that just did not fit for you. She goes, I didn't hear from you for 4 days. Like literally, I would call you 3 times and you were so busy. Well, literally, we were on the road. We went to 5 stores, we went to their grow, we went to all over, and it was busy, busy, busy. But honestly, I was so wrapped up in like, my wife and kids are going to love this. It just seems like the people are different. You know what I mean? Not everyone, but just a group of people that I want to work with. If I'm going to be with a dispensary group, I don't want to feel like the odd guy out. I want to feel like I bring something to the table. I want to feel like I am just as at an advantage as the guy across from me. And we're doing it together. Not that I'm bringing something you need real bad that you're going to end up taking and not need me for later anyway. I don't think people understand there's so much pie out there. We all could eat.
Yes, there is enough money.
We can all have it.
There's enough money for everyone.
I don't want it all. I'm not going to be here forever. I don't want it all. It doesn't mean that I can't take it with me. I want to make sure that I supply enough jobs and I help enough people. Like my family right now, I feel like I'm one of the only dudes in my family that, is able to help the rest of the family. And I was never that guy. I was the guy that couldn't take care of myself. And now that I can, I want to. Like my cousin, my daughters, they want to go with me. They're ready to go with me on this transition. So, the universe has been really cool through all the rough times. And although we have not signed a contract yet, we have redlined it. It's down to lawyers telling us that we've made good decisions. I think it's going to happen. So what to answer your question after the long drawn out response is, we'll probably be snowbirds.
That'd be great.
I'm probably going to come back here when it's too damn cold for my old broken back and come here and run stuff in Arizona. And, and who knows, maybe it's California, maybe it's New Mexico, maybe somewhere on the West Coast we will be for half the year. I feel like I've dedicated a lot of time and energy and maybe a not so advantageous spot.
Yeah.
And there's some better opportunities out there. It's time to
Well,
check out.
let's ask another quick question. Can it be saved?
You know what, man? I think it can be saved, but it's just like I got asked that about everything that's going on in the streets and everything that's going on in the world and society. And the only way it's going to change is love. I know I have a documentary called Haters Make Me Famous, and I'm this big bully and the one that everyone says don't fuck with him, and I get it. I understand that. But if we don't stop the hate, we don't stop just destroying each other, and that's from street level up through business, up through everything, and nothing's going to change. We're destroying ourselves. We're destroying our planet. We're destroying relationships and friendships. I mean, I've been burned by people that, while I've forgiven them in my heart so I could live with peace, they're not going to be at my dinner table ever again. You know what I mean?
Forgive, but don't forget.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is love to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts. And
Yeah.
I don't see enough of that. I don't think we have enough of that because it's all about the greed. It's all about, who has most toys wins. I
think a lot of people just don't forgive themselves, and they just are fucking fucked up. You
mental
know what I mean?
roadblocks.
And until you forgive yourself, it's hard to fucking have forgiveness and
It's
stuff.
true.
And we talk about this a lot, but we're both ex-drug addicts and stuff, and it took me a long time to have to fucking forgive myself, and then ask old friends and
Yep.
family. Just fucking, I was
true.
a fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? And forgiveness. You know what I mean? And that's when I realized, like, this is what love is.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's where the key lies. It's love. I wish it was less vague than that, but it really is. We got to.
I know it sounds like it should be this complex thing, but you're
It's
right.
really
It's so
not.
fucking simple, and it sounds cheesy and lame, but it needs to be talked about more.
It's about walking into a restaurant and not having a judgment on your neighbor. It's about
Well, it's like what you say. Don't be an asshole.
Just
don't be a
an
fucking
Don't be an
asshole,
asshole.
point blank. You know what I mean? There's no reason for it. Honestly, I've had people that come in the store. You know what it's like in retail. You're a fucking psychologist. I swear to God, I feel like a bartender. Right? People come in and pour their guts to me. They come in and talk about everything from religion to politics and all the shit your dad would smack you in the face for bringing up at the table. And I hear it all, and I'm just like, honestly, at the end of the day, every one of them people need a hug.
Yeah.
Every one of them
Totally.
people just need a big shut up. Quit worrying about all this drama that you can't change anyway. I mean, you can't control it. And just give a shit about somebody. Check on your neighbor. Ask them if she needs some water. Does that puppy need petted? I mean, something that you maybe wouldn't normally do. Just quit being an asshole. I think that's probably the best
Yeah,
way
I
to
stopped
put
like
it.
also judging people too. Like I used to just look at people, and then just one little thing of like, fuck that guy.
Yep.
But now I'm like,
It's because we
I'll
were
think that at
missing
first.
something here.
I'll think that at first, but I'll be like, I don't know how that guy's
Yeah.
day was,
Yeah.
or like what he's been going through, or whatever. Like you just gotta have like we always say, empathy too.
Empathy's huge.
But my girlfriend is a hairdresser, and she fucking
She's
you have
a
no idea,
psychologist.
dude. You have no idea what people. She comes home and telling me the craziest shit, and she's fucking crying and stuff. And like that's half her
Yes.
job is not just doing hair, is just listening to everyone open up. And to go back what you said, everyone needs a fucking hug.
Just hug them, man. I feel like that's where it's going to change. There's just so much hate.
But you can't hug now.
No, you can't. Yeah, now with COVID. air hug.
No, we got finger bangs.
Well, let's talk about that.
I don't mean to be rude. I just got to piss. But yeah.
Has the COVID
Do you think-
Sorry, I'm sorry.
has the COVID thing scared you and with your family at all, and anything?
I got to tell you, I'm a Crohn's guy, so I'm
Uh-huh.
compromised immune anyway. So yeah, well, first, I think my family had some weird illness in November.
Yeah.
My son and my grandson got really, really sick. My son was bronchial infection, albuterol treatments. Like they wouldn't admit him, but I sure thought he probably should have been admitted. And my grandson just sounded like a seal, just a croup, really bad. For about 4 to 6 weeks, we had it in the house. But 3-4 months later, we heard about COVID. So I just assumed we probably already had it, at least in our family. Yeah, I mean, it scares me, but then on the other aspect, I feel like if you live in fear, then you live restricted.
Yep.
I mean, I could die walking to my truck tonight by a thief, a robber, a drunk driver.
By a fucking asteroid.
But if I worry about that every day, what is my quality of life going to be like? I mean, I'm not saying don't be respectful or, wash your fucking hands. Like I'm cool with everyone using more hand wash and sanitizer. That's something we should be doing anyway. But limiting your life and I'm watching our economy just tank right now, and I don't understand it. Look, Walmart's open 24/7 still, but other stores have to be closed. I don't understand the politics behind it. I
Yeah.
guess is where we're at on it.
Well, we talk about this incessantly the last couple of shows, but it's so crazy that they literally came out and said that we have UFO parts from UFOs that
This is
were
our favorite
built
subject.
that were built off world. The government literally came out and said that a couple months ago, and
Nobody
nobody's
cared.
saying shit about it. The government literally said out, not only are aliens real, but we have parts of their spaceship.
Well, they didn't really say aliens were real, but they pretty much did.
Fuck yeah, they did.
Nothing to see over here
Yeah.
behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I saw that posted and how the lack of response on it. I think we're so dumbed down and we're so numb and we're so blinded by whatever political or whatever other garbage that we're being sucked into. Look, this is how I'm going to put it. I'm a 45-year-old man that's never been able to vote in this country. I got my voting rights back this year. And granted, I shouldn't have because I'm still on probation till February. That shows you, one, how fucked up our system is. How do I get voting rights? So you telling me that the illegals aren't doing the same thing or that felons aren't doing the same thing? I mean,
Yeah,
I got my
mainly.
all I did was walk into the DMV because I needed my new ID when I got out of prison. And they asked me, have you registered to vote? And I laughed to my wife like, yeah, I've never voted. Well, let's try. And I put on their weird name and libertarian and just I was being funny because I really didn't think I would get it, and sure enough I got a voter card sent to me with the name and the party on it. Totally blew me away, but it hit me and showed me like we're broken. This is
The
broken.
whole system's, yeah.
How did I get approved? I can't rent a fucking movie. I got so many fucking felonies. I can't work anywhere. I'm serious, but I can now vote. I now have a voice. I mean, dead people have voted more than me in 45 years, and now I get to vote. So now when I get this opportunity, now you got to research. Now you got to read. Now you got to really know what the fuck you're doing before you vote. And I get down to it, and I'm like, these are my options?
Yeah, it makes you not want to vote.
330 million people, and these are my options?
Exactly,
After
right?
45 years, this is what I get to go through? Take my rights back.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm going to turn myself in for getting my rights illegally. Like, I don't want to do it. That's how I feel.
I get so angry when I hear somebody say something like this. The only reason I'm voting for this guy is so that guy
Exactly,
isn't in
no
there.
shit.
It's like, what?
I just hope that, that after this election, the one thing that everybody realizes is how broken this system is, especially the two-party system, because it's literally just two teams fighting against each other, trying to undermine each other.
Who can be more crooked?
Yeah. Exactly. Who couldn't be fucking more crooked? And then you get people on Facebook posting stuff like, their political views and shit. And it's like, first of all, no one gives a shit.
No.
A, and
Facebook,
B, no one's gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna change my vote in November now because of this post. Like, no one does that. They're like, fuck that guy because they're so on their team.
Facebook needs to be treated like your grandfather's house at Christmas. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion, and we don't talk about money.
Like the old school way.
And if you do, you get blocked. You get taken off. Your Facebook account shut down. I think Facebook is one of the most unhealthy. I really do. I love it because I market, I advertise,
I know. Every day I want to fucking quit and get off of it, dude.
It is such a. You know what we've done is we've limited ourselves. We in our house we put ourselves out there. I've hired teams now to run my social media because I had to force myself away from it. I got so attached because we all got visions. We've all got things that we want to get behind.
Well, I don't want to say I'm attached to
for.
social media, but it's part of like what we're doing
daily
to
life.
get the word out.
It
So
is.
fuck, maybe we need a team to do that.
Well,
shit.
here's the problem that I have with all the social media stuff is that, okay, so I do these other shows about comic books and flipping comic books and making money off comic books, right? It's basically the speculation market for comic books. And there are some people out there that are 40-year-old babies. They're fucking 40-year-old babies that if somebody says something they don't agree with, they got to be fucking finger trolls.
Warriors.
Yeah, keyboard warriors. But and here's the problem. Most of those people, if they really got, like get on a StreamYard with me, at least see my actions, see what I look like, see that I'm a real fucking person. I'm not just somebody trying to be an asshole up here. You know what I mean? And nobody will act that way in person. You know, it's dehumanizing,
Yeah, it is.
and it's turning people into a bunch of fucking babies.
That's what I hate about social media. It gives you that ability to not have a repercussion.
Be a little bitch.
It's like I can block him. Motherfucker, I'll catch you at Circle K.
Yeah,
Like, I'm telling you, I'm going to see you.
Yeah, there's that
Like,
one
it's
time.
not like we're not going to see each other. You know? How does that work? It's different for me because I'm a little older too. And I grew up when we didn't have this shit.
Yeah.
Like, you handled it on the yard. You got a fucking problem. I didn't block you. I punched you in the nose. Like, I mean,
Then everything was
honestly.
cool after.
And we were friends. We didn't hate each other for life and go talk about each other's families. No, we picked each other up off the ground
now
and we
you-
weren't assholes anymore.
Yeah, now you also they'll fucking block you, but then like screenshot everything and be like,
And
look at this
blast
fucking
you.
and blast
And
you. And like, look
cancel,
at that.
try and cancel you.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
like that shit is literally happening
Yeah.
in everything. It's happening in the comic book world. It's happening in fucking in stupid bullshit. And you're like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
Why would you want to ruin somebody's life?
Here's a good one for you. So the other day, my wife is probably the strongest person in our family. And nobody would ever know that by looking at the movie or looking at us. She's a monster. But she gets frustrated. And she feels like sometimes she doesn't have a voice because maybe she's in my shadow or it's the Chris Martin story or whatever. And she really wants to vent. So I've always been her backup. I'm just the muscle. If someone fucks with
She's
you, babe,
welcome
I
on here
got
to
you.
vent anytime.
Absolutely.
Dude. Anytime.
And she'll take you up on that for
sure.
sure. On Facebook the other day, she made a post, and it was really just her venting, which I tell her Facebook's not the spot for that, because they always come at me. They think it's me, but she wanted to post something because we had been trying to get our yard done. I have no days off. Sunday's like my only day off, and usually I'm doing yard work. Well, I've just been so tired with all this travel that I did not want to spend 4 hours on a 120-degree day in the yard, man. I'm beat.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what? I got a bunch of people that have not been working. Maybe I can just throw them some dollars and some beers or something. Come over and help me. Well, we put it out there, and 3 companies had contacted us and said, yeah, shoot us pictures. We'll tell you. We'll give you a quote. No one showed up. So after that, you're a little upset, especially when I'm out in the yard doing it and she sees it. So she's pissed. 7 a.m, she gets on Facebook and just says, you know what, to all you motherfuckers not working that want to show up. Well, what she did was said, all you, and she grouped everybody.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, the keyboard guys get on there and want to start attacking my wife about it. And, I'm being funny in the comments. Like, babe, did you not have your coffee yet? Like, calm down. Was this your ploy to get me to do the yard? Like, I'm just being funny.
Diffuse the situation.
I am. I'm
yeah.
trying to just chill out. Next thing you know, a patron, a customer that's, I shouldn't say too much of a customer. He won't come in and shop without a discount. You got to give him free shit all the time or he ain't going to talk nice about you. So I thought we were kind of cool, but he gets on there and just totally ramps it, just lays into her. And I'm like, look, dude, it'd be different if we didn't annoy each other. But you come into the store, my wife, and my wife's a 100-pound redhead that gets heated. She's a Killingsworth. She's an Irishman. You know what I mean? Don't piss her off. Like she doesn't mean to group everyone into a group setting like that. That chick's never been in a fight in her life. That's not what she's doing. She's just making a point about, there's a lot of people that'll say one thing and then do another and not follow through. And that's probably what she should have said. So eventually she had to go in and delete the post because the people wouldn't stop. Then I got Google 1-star review from the guy.
Oh, geez.
After 9 years of stellar Google reviews, this
That
guy
shit's so dumb.
doesn't even leave a comment, just a 1-star to be a dick. You know what I mean? It's like, and I texted him personally because I knew who it was. And I was like, if you ever have something to say, show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Don't be a fucking pussy.
Yeah, no
Who
shit.
hurt you?
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
swing on you, but you could at least say it to my face. And it kind of reminds you every day of it's a different time, man. It's not like it used to be anymore. Because now even if you show up to square off, you might get shot.
Yeah.
It's not just a fist fight anymore.
Yeah.
So I've had to defuse and de-escalate, get away from it a little bit. So I let a team come in
That's smart.
and
man.
start running the social media. I tell you what, stress level dropped to 2 from a 10 as soon as that happened. So
Me just taking Facebook off my fucking phone, my stress dropped
you don't realize
because I found myself just scrolling all the time. Like, well, I don't care about
It's an
any
addiction.
of this. Like, yeah,
It's
it's
an
definitely
addiction.
addiction. They make it an addiction.
I went to prison and I had phantom phone vibrations for 90 days. I would grab my pocket like, oh man, I swear that was my phone, because I had so many messages on my phone when I was out. I don't know. I just didn't realize it. I've never not been with my phone for a 3-month period.
Yeah.
In that first 3 months, I literally would grab my leg like, damn,
I
I
bet.
swear it was vibrating. I swear I had a phone in my pocket. That let me know, like, man,
Yeah, it's become part of our bodies.
it is.
It's an
Well, they
appendage.
also say that like when a sound goes off, you get a text message, or no, actually they say when you lose your phone, the part of your brain that panics and worries about it is the same part that goes off like when you feel like you've lost your child or your
Isn't that
child's
crazy?
missing. Yeah,
Isn't that
like that's
crazy?
how attached we are.
Well, and it
Because you do, I
probably-
freak out, right?
It probably
fuck.
dehumanizes you a little bit, you know. I mean, like for me, just looking at it all the time and seeing it all the time now, I just want to throw it. I don't even. I hear the beeps now, and I'm like, turn it off, get it away from
totally.
me. I don't even-
Well, I can't talk over texts anymore. I'm just like, listen, if you're gonna text me,
Call me.
yeah, call me. We can, if you want to do it through technology, I'll get on fucking some FaceTime or StreamYard shit. But call me. I can't do this text shit, man.
Yeah. Well, it always gets taken out of context, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've lost more
That too,
friends over
yeah.
that dumb shit because, you know. Well, what about I had sent my wife a text on vacation once, and instead of "I wish you were here," I forgot an E on here.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that didn't fly too well the first 10 minutes. I'm just kidding, babe. Spell check sucks.
Oh man,
Autocorrect's on one today, man.
There's a great Key and Peele sketch about that texting
Oh, is
one.
there?
Have you seen that?
Uh-uh.
Oh, it's just like they're texting each other, but like they keep reading the text like completely out of context of what it's supposed to be, and then they end up going to try to fight each other. It's great.
I'm famous for that shit.
Yeah,
Taking it wrong, saying it wrong.
totally.
Because some people are wired differently.
I am. I'm animated, man.
Yeah.
I read it wrong, and I'm like, "What the fuck did you say to me?"
Yeah,
I was just asking if you wanted milk, man. Oh, okay, cool.
your autopilot is set to fight.
And I don't mean to be that way, but it just
Some
seems
people are
like
just
you're
like
always
that.
on, you know,
On edge.
Yeah, because there's always something going weird.
Yeah.
You know, the minute you trust someone, bam, you get punched in the face, and I'm just
Yeah.
kind of over that for a while.
That's sad. That's sad that it's gotten like that. I would have hoped that it would have gotten the exact opposite.
Well, I don't know if it will. You know, this ballot initiative that's coming up for vote in November, I don't know how much it's going to help or hurt. So we'll just have to see what happens.
What's going on with that?
The ballot, they got enough signatures for the Smart and Safer ballot, and I know a lot of people are really happy about it because you can grow 6 plants, but it's the same trick bag that sent me to prison, so I'm not totally stoked about it. How are you going to prove that you grew all that weed in your house? I'm just curious if some dickhead wants to go tell on you and they come to your door. How do you show them that 8 pounds came from your 6 plants? And is it the cop's job to figure all that out? No, he's going to raid you. He's going to take all your shit and he's going to let you go figure it out in court with a lawyer. And by that point, you're already too far down the rabbit hole. So I know that they're hanging over the 6 plants over everyone's head because we haven't had it. We haven't gotten to grow in 10 years here. So people are very anxious. Problem is that it just monopolizes the dispensaries. It's the more licenses to them, only them. No one else can jump in the game. And it's just some
So
shady
regular
shit.
people can't just grow?
Nah, fuck no. Oh, we could grow. Yeah, we can grow 6 plants if it passes. But you're still only allowed 2.5 ounces of weight. So
What?
yeah, it's what I went to prison on. I could grow 12 plants, which that's what I'm trying to convince people now. It's like, okay, wait. In 2010, we could grow 12 plants, but only have 2.5 ounces, and we all went to prison. Now they're going to give you 6 plants, and you can only have 2.5. Like, they're not helping us here. Like,
What the fuck?
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
But a lot of people, I don't see it that way, right? The bill.
Oh no, I think a lot of
They're
people
just like
say-
6 plants, 6 plants.
Well, they assume that, you know, because they're going to let us grow, that they're not going to charge us with it. And I don't see how you see that. If
Yeah.
we not watch history, like, let's just read the numbers. Like, why wouldn't they?
Do you think it'll pass?
Of course.
Oh.
I think it will. It's got the signatures. Why wouldn't it have the votes?
Yeah.
I think it will pass. And I just, you know, like I've always said, I hope I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong. I would rather people not go to jail for this. If we're talking about, okay, my biggest argument is this. 2010, we passed AMMA. How many times have we changed the AMMA? How many times have we gone through court successfully and changed or amended any part of the AMMA? 0. So 10 years, we have not been successful at making a change to the AMMA.
Okay, I feel stupid. What?
That is our Arizona Medical Marijuana Act that
I'm an idiot.
passed in
Okay.
2010.
Okay.
So now if they're going to pass this new law in November, and their reasoning for this crappy law is stating, well, we can change it later. Well, if that's the case, then why didn't we change 2010? Why haven't
Yeah.
we changed the AMMA?
Yeah.
Because it's not that fucking easy. It's not just, oh, hey, we'll just write it in later. It doesn't work like that because of bureaucracy. Because bipartisan bullshit, and we will never get it fucking changed. So why pass another bullshit law that's going to cause people to feed into the funneling private prison and drug probation system to feed the beast. That's, I mean, and people see, I got to grow 6 plants. Okay, well, let me know how that works for you.
Yeah,
If
they're
you get raided
yeah.
and they tell you, well, I can't prove that you grew that 8 pounds here, so I'm going to take you to jail, and the judges will figure it out.
So how do we get around that? They just say that you can have more than you can have up to so many pounds per
Well,
person.
the way I'd get around it is hire a really good lawyer and have him on retainer all the fucking time.
No, I mean, like, how would the bill be written to?
Well, honestly, decrim.
Yes.
You know, decrim
Yes,
it. If we're
yes.
talking about legalizing something, why in the fuck are we still arresting
No
people for
shit.
it? Let's let them out of jail. Let's quit making it illegal at any level whatsoever and decrim it. It's not legalization when you're still getting arrested. To me, that's just an oxymoron. You know, it's kind of like, oh, it's a deemed essential. Then why is everybody in jail still?
Yeah.
If it's essential and we have to have it and they have to stay open to make millions of dollars,
Let's get
then
those
why do these
fuckers
people
out.
have to come home?
Yeah.
Let them come home. I'm sick of watching this Compassionate Care Act work for 12 people a month. No, free them all. Let them all come home. And not only let them all come home, but give them a pension. Give them a retirement. Give them something that they can now stay home and not go back to prison with because of what they just suffered for all these years over something that's now legal. That's now helping save lives like we've always said it would do. That's what pisses me off the most about this bullshit law. I give 2 shits about plants and growing. I'll figure that out. I'll drive to the goddamn woods and grow if I have to. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to the bottom line, why are we not letting anyone come home? So you're going to sit here and let all these millions of voters decide whether it's legal or not legal or what we can and can't have. Yet nothing's going to change for the dude who's put his life on the line or the chick who lost her whole fucking family over a pound.
And more people are going to go there.
They are. They're going to keep. Well, I mean, think about it, man. Prisons were allowed to restructure as real estate investment trusts in 2013. If anyone understands what a REIT is, that means it's a real estate. It's real estate. You can't make money off of it unless you've got your assets invested in real estate, which means you can publicly trade that on the stock market. So we've made it legal to throw someone in jail, and I can be a stockholder that owns money in the stock that puts that dude in jail. So in order for that stockholder to make money, how do I make that happen? I have to keep the prison full. Write mandatory minimum bullshit laws. Let these lobbyists come in here and spend all this bullshit money just to make sure the prisons are full. It's a cycle. And the owners and the writers, the authors of this bill are a part of that cycle.
Yep.
They're just feeding the machine, and they put lipstick on it so everyone else sees it as, but I get to grow. But I get to grow my 6 plants. Let me tell you, I was happier than a pig in shit when I got to grow my 12 plants. And let me tell you what it was like watching my kid eat an AR-15. And what it was like to watch my wife get ripped out of my fucking truck by her hair because they decided it wasn't cool anymore for me to grow those 12 plants. I don't want to hear the bitching after the fact when we've sat here and we've fought about it, we've argued about it. I want access for everyone. Are you fucking kidding me? I've been home from prison 3 years and I've given away probably 4 pounds of RSO free. I want everyone to have access, but access isn't going to prison. Access isn't getting arrested and having your life ruined over a plant that saves somebody else from cancer.
Yep.
I mean, it's
stupidity.
It's almost obvious, in my opinion. That's why I get so animated. You know, it's like this is. I mean, it's like arguing the sky is down.
It's stupidity. It's it's all over the whole spectrum of cannabis right now. On a smaller level, you know, you got people who are, you know, have to go to these pain centers to get pain medication. Listen, there's some people that need pain medication, but if they want to try and use marijuana to help that pain, maybe to help them take less of the pain medication, if they can't, because if they test positive for marijuana, they kick them out of the pain centers.
And I got one of those pain centers in my parking lot at Hempful Farms, about half a block away. Bell Treatment Center.
They're fucking...
I watch these people zombie across my parking lot. 10, 12, 15 at a time, all day long, zombied, just out there. And the doctors are telling them, well, you know, it's going to take you 2 years to get off this stuff. You're going to have to go from this to this to this to this instead of getting sick. instead of getting through it, instead of working it. And I
Dude,
get
I'll
it.
tell you this: I was that zombie for fucking 2
Absolutely.
years, and they don't want you to get off
They
of
do
it.
not, man.
And what happens is they'll bump you up 10 milligrams like this. If you're like, oh, it's not working, I need more, and they'll just bump you up 10 milligrams all the way up to about 130 milligrams. But once you get off, they're like, oh, we can only do 3 milligrams at a time.
Yep.
And fucking,
They make you feel like you're doing something wrong.
It took me a fucking like 9 months to get from like 130 to like 30. You know what I mean? And finally, I had like 2 weeks off of a Christmas vacation, and I was like, I'm done with this shit. And I poured all of them down the fucking toilet, and I was living at his crib. I fucking withdrawed my balls off for fucking 10 days, and I fucking came back as like me again. You know what I mean? I wasn't a zombie and shit, but like those places, they make fucking $240 a month off of you. You know what I mean? Like they fucking want you on that shit forever.
I would love-hate with it myself. My little sister died last year. 24 years old. She overdosed.
On methadone or?
On heroin.
On heroin, yeah. I'm sorry, man.
She went to prison because her boyfriend at the time was dealing. And she took the time. She took all the shit for him. She got out of prison. I got a phone call asking for money. And look, I love my little sister. I love her. But I'm not an idiot. And I told her no. I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to give you money. I know what's been going down. And she's like, look, Chris, I'm clean. I've been clean. My daughter's birthday's here, and I need some help. So I called her mom, and I said, look, I'm not going to send Meg any money. I'll send it to you, and I'll let you decide what's going to go on with it, because I just don't have the balls to give it to her. 14 days after I sent her that money, she was dead. Fuck. And I don't blame mom. I blame Megan. I mean, Megan didn't want to quit.
Mom gave her the money?
Mom gave her the money.
I know it
because
sucks. That's a tough situation for the parents because they love their kids so much. And they just want to help them, but like the kids take advantage. I did that to my fucking dad. You know what I mean? Like you take it as a drug addict, you take advantage. You don't even know you're doing it because you just fucking want that high and that drug so bad. It's fucking.
That's why I would go out of my way now.
I'm so glad, by the way, that you did that, dude, because most people don't do that. Yeah. That's that tough love. That's what you needed.
I do. I loved her with all my heart, and she was my baby sister. Out of 8 of us, she was the youngest. So it was, man, it's just one of those things that punches you in the mouth. You know, like. I'm out here helping all these people, and I can't even help my own. Yeah, you know, that was really the eye opener of like, you know what? I got to look out for my family. I got to look out for us too. Not that I don't, but when I get that email at 3 a.m. of my uncle's sick and I carry that weight. I put that stress inside and that empathy. I believe that's why I have Crohn's. I carry all that stuff internalized. I don't.
It's like stress.
Yeah, I started hiking now. I started doing all this
other
stuff
dude.
externally to try to get rid of it. You know what I mean? Because I put it all right here, and I don't know. I think it's the empathy part. I think it's, you know, before prison, I didn't have none of that shit. I didn't give a fuck about nothing. All I cared about was fucking edibles and growing and just the brand and the business stuff. You know what I mean? But it's people. It's really more about people. After watching them just fail and suffer and hurt, and we can help all of them.
And we don't have much time left.
No.
We only have, you know, yeah, they say we have years, but how many more summers and how many more winters do you have left?
That's right. Think of it that way. You have to. Might not be many.
The two most important things that we have is time and truth. Right, there's nothing more important than those two things. You can never get time back.
It took me fucking 35 years of my life to learn that, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
What matters to me too is legacy. It matters a lot to me. You know, I learned about my grandpa so many years after he was gone and how cool he was, and I didn't know shit about him. But to learn about him later, I was like, man, that's my legacy. That's part of my family that I never knew. I didn't grow up knowing any of that stuff. I don't want my kids or grandkids to ever be like that. Like, who was my grandpa? Or read about me on Google or something stupid. You know what I mean? I care about that. Like,
dude, you got that fucking documentary. You got the book. I mean, just those two right there. So.
Well, you're very. You can tell you're very. You want your family around you at all times. Yeah. You can tell.
I grew up without it. Yeah. You know? I didn't have any of that shit.
So
as a kid.
you just soak it in. I see you with your grandkids and your kids. And
my wife's like, "Do you want to go to Target with me?" Like trying to coax me out of the house. I'm like, "No." I love home. Yeah. Let's stay here. Yeah. Do we have to walk out the door today? Like, I love it here, you know.
Well, has the hiking helped out a little bit?
Man, the hike and save. I'm down 15 pounds first off, which I was getting big. I started, man, you know, with the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. I know, yeah. Overindulging this year.
Yeah.
You know, I figured the world was coming to an end anyway. We
Fuck
won, the,
it.
we won the,
Yeah, yeah.
the Super Bowl, so it's got to be over now. But yeah, the hiking, not only physical, man, but I got to tell you, there's a
I mean, like with the chromes, even.
yeah, it helps
yeah.
tremendously.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got to run down the hill, but you know, just to make it home in time. You still have flare ups and issues, but it's definitely helping exercise wise and just mental.
Yeah.
It's a really peaceful
Getting
thing up
out.
there at 5 a.m,
Yeah.
man, when no one else is there, and you see this Phoenix and Arizona for a whole another side of it that you don't.
What mountain?
I climbed Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where we all used to.
I used to live in that area, so I used to do that mountain like every day
It's
with
in
my
my
old
backyard.
husky.
I
Really?
walk out my house and it's at the end of
I'm
my
sure
street.
I know
you
that whole
probably-
trail in my head.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's seen Mark on the trail because Mark does it every morning
Oh,
too.
just yeah.
I missed that
every
trail,
day. I
'cause-
get it 5 o'clock trailhead
Yeah.
every day. 5
That's
o'clock.
cool.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm from Kansas. We don't have mountains. You know what I mean? To get up that high.
Oh, yeah,
man, it's powerful. It's a powerful feeling to be up that high and accomplish something like that. Because I drove by it every day, going, man, them people are crazy.
Yeah.
That is
It's-
a big ass hill. Right
You
It's
used to
there.
fucking
hike it
hot
every
out.
day.
I
Yeah.
did,
When
but
you lived with
it's
me.
fucking hot out.
It's hot. That's why I go at 4. I get up at 4. I'm gone by 5. I'm home by 6.
That's the only
It
time
doesn't
too,
get
though.
over 90.
Yeah.
and
It's
I'm
hot as
home.
balls at like 7.
It's pretty nice with that breeze. You get up there at 6, the breeze. I there's only been a couple days where it's so humid. I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But no way in the sun. I drove by earlier and people were up there at 116.
I try to fucking. My schedule has switched to where I'm up all night and I
Oh, yeah.
sleep during most of the day
Yeah,
because it's so fucking hot.
I could tell.
out. It's so hot.
Yeah,
out.
no vitamin
It
D.
is.
I know, dude.
You're like a ghost,
I
bro.
know.
Casper.
Fuck, bro. I'm translucent, bro.
Clear. No, I just it's been a month now, about a month, maybe 2, and there's a couple days you're like, I don't want to do this, but isn't that how life is? You get up
Yeah,
a couple
fucking
days and
A.
I don't want to fucking do this, and you do
That's
it.
called your inner bitch. Joe
do it.
Rogan talks about that.
You
Like
do it.
you wake up in the morning and you just don't want to do it. That's your inner bitch going,
It
don't
is.
do it, don't do it. But
Yep.
once you defeat that inner bitch, and especially when you do things in the morning, you feel like you've already accomplished something. So even if your day kind of goes shitty, you're like, at least I got fucking hiking in.
Oh
You
hell,
know what
dude!
I
I've
mean?
already hiked, did my yard,
Yeah,
took
exactly.
a nap. I was like, damn, my day's accomplished.
Smoked fucking 20
Smoked-
bowls.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Podcast.
Yeah.
have you been doing much with the product line? I mean, what's been going on lately? I saw you guys were doing some Keith stuff, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's been an interesting transition because when we launched the brand, I had 30 to 40 pounds a week I took down with my grow. I had access to everything I needed for rosin and all my product. Well, after the bitch move that American Green and their partners did, I don't have that access anymore. So I had to go rent a kitchen. I rent the 6-foot kitchen just to produce my chocolates now, but I have to source all my product now. So we're really just winding down the keef and the concentrates of what I had left from the transition until I can secure another grow. But with my background and who I am, everyone wants your SOPs and your lineage, but they can't let you be a part of it. So it's really that trick bag right now. Who do I trust with my lineage enough not to change all the names like the last group did?
And did they
You
change
know.
ingredients too?
Oh, they changed. The good part is they couldn't use my chocolate or any of that stuff. I have control of all that. It's just on lineage we already had in the ground. They just started changing all the names to it now. So you'll see some interesting new brands out there. Just remember who the fuck started them.
That's what should be kind of a compliment, right?
It is. Yeah. I mean,
I know it sucks,
frustrating
but
in
yeah,
one
yeah.
aspect, but in the other aspect, yeah, it's like,
You're the OG.
You know who you are, motherfuckers.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and there's only one Zonka. That's the cool part.
Well, how do I get you selling those hats?
Yeah, we got
I'll
them
buy
online
one of those, dude, for
Hempful
sure.
Farms and at the store.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, I need to come in there anyway because I need to get some more treats for Fabius and
Yeah.
stuff. So he loves those, dude.
He's cute. It's getting big.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, so are you guys selling any other new products there? Or?
Let's see. We on the Zonka side of stuff, we're gonna be doing some caramels. I'm just waiting on all my materials to get in, and we do a truffle and some Rolo style like caramel stuffed chocolates. We'll be launching some of that stuff. We're just moving, so by the end of this
damn.
month, we have to transition to a new kitchen, and we went and spoke with a couple partners. And it looks like we found one. So by the end of, I'm hoping August, maybe September at the latest, we'll be moved to the new kitchen. Once that happens, we'll have more space, more room. Literally, right now I have a 6-foot table that we work at night and on weekends just to get in and produce, and they don't have enough power or space to run both my tempers, so I'm at 50% capacity right now. So we can't really drop a marketing and sales team with half capacity of production. So I'm just kind of, what we are selling is all word of mouth, or people knew who we were before and they've been wanting to get us on the shelf. So luckily we've had enough business to keep us up, floating upright, you know. But once the new kitchen comes in, we'll be able to kill it.
Fuck yeah. The fun part must be trying to come up with the new products and flavors and things, like,
I'm
because
an
you just test it on
R&D guy.
yourself.
I
Yeah,
am.
you're your own R&D
I
guy.
am. I'm like, ice cream?
So
Let's make ice cream today.
yeah, because a lot of that shit is just like happy accidents
It
and
is.
just fucking
It
like,
is.
you just get an idea and you're like, well, maybe I should combine this with that. And,
We're launching a breakfast oatmeal. We're gonna do an instant hemp seed oatmeal with
Oh, that's
protein.
tight.
And you know what's funny about it is I've eaten instant oatmeal every morning for I don't know how long. And I'm looking at this container going, wait, I have oatmeal, hemp seed, protein. I have all this shit in my store. Why am I not selling this?
Fucking A.
So instantly I had the shrink wrap made, the label made, and we're
That's
going to
tight.
launch it. But I'm like, it's that why didn't I think of this 10 years ago? Like, this is shit I should have been selling at the cafe. You know?
fuck yeah. And then you just fucking make it up and try it. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, next thing you know, maybe we'll get it in Safeway or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's the
cool.
goal. So really our goal right now is just expansion. With the move, you know, over to Michigan, we're deciding, do we keep production here of Hempful or do we just move it there when I have a huge space that we're building out up there? So
Oh, and then just ship it down
and
here.
just
to
ship
sell
it here
Yeah,
and
yeah.
keep it at the store here so we can still do our wholesales here, still keep plenty of product here for Arizona. It's just, man, it's easier to produce up there in some aspects too because Arizona's hot, man.
Yeah, fucking move that shit up there, man.
Arizona's so hot. Like, we can't even do our chocolates right now in certain times of the day because of the temperature. We have to have the room at 65. Your ACs freeze up if you try to run it at 65, you know? So it's weird. Michigan, we wouldn't have that issue. It wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, just
Well,
that's crazy.
Get to some place where you don't have any strife,
Mhm.
man. Make
You know,
that fucking
I at least
easy.
want half my year where I'm not stressed out. You know, I feel
Yeah.
like Arizona's always that monkey on my back. You know, I love Arizona. I've been here 26 years. Like, I went to college here. I played baseball. My whole story and family, my daughters, my grandkids, everything's here. It's not like I want to bail on my state or anything, but
You get to a point with your fucking what you're dealing with, man. It's just
I don't
like,
have
fuck.
many years. How many Christmases do I have left? You know what I mean? Like,
And here's the other thing.
I want to
Listen,
see some snow.
this country is still the greatest country
You're
on
right.
the earth, and we have the ability right now, more than we've ever had as a country and as a citizen of this country, to be able to go, I don't like where I live.
Yep.
Let's go somewhere else.
Well, and I tell you,
Yeah.
growing up in foster homes, group homes, lockup, all this moving,
You're used to
change
it.
is cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't mind. You know, I don't mind. And what's neat, after 22 years, my wife has kind of adapted it too. We get stagnant in one spot. Like, let's roll. Let's roll.
That's cool.
We don't have nothing to lose, you know?
I'm talking to a lot of people right now that are talking about finding some place where they can just go do it all on their own. I mean, find some place,
It's about
Eastern
quality of
Washington,
life.
Eastern Oregon.
Look, I could stay here and probably crank out 10 million in sales over the next year or two if I really drop marketing and just push my ass to do it. But what's my quality of life going to be
Yeah.
like when I do it? Because I'm going to be working 18-hour days to make it happen. It's going to be very unforgiving. It's going to be uphill battle with the challenges in this state. Or I can go to a state who actually does immunity, who actually will give a grant and a license to someone like me. What? Arizona, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
No shit.
Yeah.
Realize you're the 5th largest city in the country that needs some revenue coming in, needs some money, and you got a lot of people that can work for you. You know what I mean? Some of these people coming out of prison have business backgrounds, are very smart people. They could run this whole program, and they're not taking advantage. They're definitely not taking advantage of what they have in front of them. So I think I want to explore. I want to go see what this social equity is about. You know what I mean?
Fucking A.
People are actually moving out of major cities more than ever right now because of COVID.
When I've got a company that wants to fly me 1,600 miles to go visit and then pay for absolutely everything and pay me to come up there and teach them what I've learned in 25 years, why didn't my state do that?
Yeah.
My state threw me in prison twice.
Yeah.
And now left me on probation for 9 years afterwards and told me I can't have shit to do with it. But we'd love to take your brand from you. We'd love to make all this millions of dollars off all your hard work, but not let you fucking glorifying any of it. And you know what? It just doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well because I pay taxes just like the next guy. You know what I mean? I work just like the next guy, just as hard as everybody and anybody else. The only difference with me and some of us is we have to worry about that halo hanging over us of probation, of prior felonies, record, your arrest record. So that will never leave me here. Never. Every time I get pulled over, I'm gonna have 4 cops there. Every time.
Damn,
That's
dude.
never gonna change.
It's like fuck Arizona home.
I'm just
Not fuck
I
Arizona.
love it
but
because
you
it
love
made me.
Yeah,
it built
but-
me.
yeah,
But
I
on
know
the
what
other
you're saying,
aspect,
dude.
it's like if you're not gonna
Fuck.
welcome us, if you're not gonna really, from my understanding, this is something we are supposed to do together. Business,
Yes.
government,
Community.
state, community. We all do it together. Not pick and choose the ones you like or
Yeah.
the ones that are cool with you at the time. Or that's just not cool. I
That
mean,
sucks.
what would it have been like for my family or my company if I was a quitter? We'd have disappeared. It'd all been over. Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have known shit. And my family would have suffered. And that's all I think about is like, with the uphill battle that it's been. I mean, it's not all bad. So Hempful Farms has been very successful for a lot of years. We have a lot of great people here, and we're going to continue to take care of them.
Can politicians change, or do we just need to get rid of what's
Wipe
in
the
there?
map.
Fucking A, wipe the map.
Start over.
Yeah.
Is it that older generation of people?
No,
also?
it's here's the
I think
problem.
it's a culture.
like
It's
that
a
reefer
cu-
madness.
it's exactly what it is.
culture.
Yeah, culture.
You get
yeah.
into a politic, like people can go gung ho and they're like, I'm gonna be a politician, I'm gonna change shit. They get there and they get told 2 things very quickly: you either join us or you're gonna
Against
fight
us.
an
Yeah.
uphill battle, and we're gonna fuck you. And at that point, you go,
Well, and as a civil
Bend me over.
as a
Yep.
civil servant, why are they making $200,000
they
a year?
shouldn't. They shouldn't be making money.
What?
It should be a thing that is
They
free.
can take a month off
Yeah.
in the middle of a pandemic and all these other
It
problems.
should be a, like you said, it should be like you're a servant to your country.
You serve it and term limit.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck do you get to go in there and be 60 years for?
Yeah,
Like,
they get paid
you
for
shouldn't
that.
be in your seat longer than my license is good.
Yes.
Like,
No shit.
if my license expires before you get out of your seat, we got a problem.
Yep.
We have a problem. To me, that's a culture.
And then the second biggest problem is money in politics,
Mm-hmm.
right? And none of those motherfuckers want to play and get along. They just want to fight each
That's what I was
other.
talking about earlier,
Yeah.
dude. It's hopefully that everything will realize it's what a broken system this is. It's literally like 2 football teams that are always the same team, just
Yeah.
constantly trying to fight.
Literally, the new vice presidential nominee is somebody that is like fucking putting people in prison systems.
Yep.
And now they're like, and
Yep.
she's laughing about it. You know?
Yeah, he arrested more people of color, and she arrested more cannabis people, and everyone's super happy about him. I'm lost. Like, did I miss the memo? I mean, I've watched this dude sniff children for how long?
Yeah.
Like, literally. And where I lived,
I don't mean to laugh at it.
no,
it's
no,
just
but where I
like,
lived for the
there's
years
just
I
memes
lived,
about it. Yeah.
people like that aren't
They're
people we
weird.
vote for.
Yeah, they're weird.
Other things happen to people like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just blown away at
And-
where we're at as a country. We must look like clowns to other people.
Oh, we're definitely,
guess.
I think, a laughing stock.
I feel
We're a
that,
laughing
but-
stock, but at the same time, when I like meet other people who come from other countries and
They love
especially
this
they're
country.
they
They
fucking
do.
they're so happy they're here. They
I'm just
still like want to come
I'm just
here.
worried
and-
we're ruining it. I'm worried we're ruining it. It feels like.
I just feel like I'm on a,
Entitlements ruining it.
Well, with
Entitlement.
grandkids and kids, it's scary. What planet do they have? What government? What society are they gonna have growing up the next 30 years?
Well, you
That's a
know what
scary thought.
we need more of? We need more of conversations like this and more people to hear conversations like this and be in conversations like this and be able to talk, have a civil fucking discourse.
like hopefully someone through the state finds out about your story of why you're leaving, and maybe they'll open up their eyes and
Sure.
someone will want to make change. So
You know,
the more you talk about
It's
it,
not
the
only
better.
that either. I mean, look at the expungement. Arizona doesn't have expungement here. So, like, I've been in all this trouble, but I've also done all this time to get through it and make it better. But I can never have my record cleared. I can never make it go away in Arizona. Well, that's welcoming. That makes you want to just stick around in this place.
A lot of other
forever.
states do that though.
No, other states have expungement where
Oh,
after
okay.
a certain amount of time, you can
Yeah.
file or petition the courts to
Yeah.
have it removed.
I didn't know that Arizona did.
Arizona has a program where they call it set aside, and that sounds like layaway to me. That doesn't sound like they're gonna put it anywhere. They're gonna pull it right back out as soon as you get in any kind of trouble or you're in a court system
Set
again.
aside. That's literally what
They
it's
call
called.
it set aside. They will set your conviction aside, and only certain convictions. So it's always this trick bag of bullshit here. You know what I mean? So I just I've been real patient. I feel like we've stayed and stuck it out for a really long time with the state to just see what's going to happen. But you know, and I'm never going to totally quit on them. It's home to me. This is home.
Yeah.
But I also got to find somewhere where I can be happy in my head. Like, you know, when I got back from Michigan, my wife asked me, she's like, you know, what was it like for you to actually be somewhere and not feel out of place or like uncomfortable? I'm like, it was amazing. It was like being home. It was like, when I go home to Kansas and I go see all my buddies from high school and we're sitting around watching football, you know, that's what it felt like when we were all teenagers again, you know. And Andy asked me, she goes, and that's something you don't have here, huh? And I looked at her and I'm like, I've never looked at it, but you're right.
Well, you had it, but you lost it with your club.
I thought I had it.
Yeah.
I thought I had it, you know, with a few things, with my club, with friends in business, the people that I partnered with just recently. I mean, I really thought that I had people I trusted around me. And when money gets involved and greed, you see how important you're not. You see how important the money becomes. And I didn't feel that when I went up there. Like, all these guys have put all their own money into this. So it's not like they have millionaire partners. They don't have banks backing them. It's just them. It's just their money. And it gave us an opportunity to do the same. Bring what you do and what you have to the table, and we all put it in and we make it happen. And that's all I've asked for since I started this, since I went to prison the first time in 95.
So what's going on with the documentary lately? I've been seeing it was on Amazon Prime. You guys can see it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, man. They've gotten it on, I don't know, a dozen platforms now. It just launched Amazon Prime free for 100 million subscribers.
Shout out to Trey. Shout out to Trey Goodman.
Trey Goodman, GC Media. Hell yeah. He's great. That's my agent. We're working on some neat stuff too. His company and my company are trying to take over a ball team up in Colorado. Oh. And Trey's son has been coaching. So
I think I saw you post about
we've
that.
got a nice, we sponsored a team up there last year. And Trey approached me and said, hey, would you be interested in owning a team? Maybe coming out and coaching because I went to college for baseball. I've never been able to coach because of my felonies and my background, but this is like a summer league for college kids that are trying to get into other colleges or even pro.
It's like a semi-pro type thing. Yeah,
there's no restrictions on it, so I can go up there and coach. Even if I don't coach, just to
have fun.
Sponsor. What's really cool is Zonka was one of the first cannabis brands on a baseball jersey. So they let me put my brand with the pot leaf, the whole jazz on the jersey.
Sick.
And next year we can have product at the game.
Of course, in Colorado,
Colorado's
right?
legal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, you'll actually get to go to a baseball game, have a Zonka edible, a Zonka drink at the game. I mean,
what's the strongest Zonka?
Well, right now we do a 450 milligram candy bar. During, I think it's Halloween or New Year's, we haven't decided which one yet, but we roll out 1,000 milligram for that month. It's just like
I need to get one of those, dude.
The 450 is pretty rocking. Yeah, the 1000s are good too. I'll make whatever, honestly.
Can you make me a fucking, if I paid you literally a 10,000 milligram?
I do whatever, absolutely,
dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think this guy can get high off edibles.
Do you
it's nothing
take
that,
RSO at all?
It's nothing that like I try to be cool. Like, it doesn't get me high. Just like I really feel like there's like I've actually done like Reddit deep dives. Like, and I found there's a group of people who just doesn't affect them. For example, like he'll take a 20-30 milligram and get fucked up.
Sit on the couch.
And I'll literally take 1,000 milligrams and fucking I'm fucking doing chores and fucking.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would depend.
But I want to get fucking, I hate to say it, but retarded. I just want to get fucked up.
My suggestion would be RSO.
I do take RSO.
Put it in your food.
No, I do take
and nothing.
Nothing, dude.
Damn.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take RSO every night too, and it fucking puts me out.
Yeah. Me too.
I love it.
I'm so used to it now. I take it in the morning before work.
Yeah.
Me too. I take it in the morning and at night.
If I take it at night, I don't sleep. I'm like you. I sleep, but only for like 4 hours. Really hard, and then I'm up at 3 a.m. hiking.
Yeah.
But I need the medicinal value of it, so I keep taking it.
Yeah, that shit's so amazing.
That's what I like.
My dad swears by that shit now.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
you know, though, I've heard about also with ex-opiate users that THC is hard sometimes. Certain opiate users have
sometimes I feel like, to be completely honest with you, because I'm such a fucking hardcore smoker, and it's only because I'm honestly chasing the dragon of that heroin high that I know I'll never get, but at least I can function in normal day life, you know, not nod off, you know. Does that make sense? So,
absolutely.
but I'm looking for this. But I see other people like take edibles and they're like, it gave me an anxiety attack, and I want an anxiety attack.
Have you tried CBG?
No, someone brought that with me.
CBG. CBG is going to be the new CBD. It's another cannabinoid they found. It's amazing with sleep. It's amazing with appetite. There's a couple companies doing all CBG products right now. We were just waiting for the price to drop a little bit on the kilos. They're a little expensive, and my clientele base isn't going to come buy a $200 tincture. It's not going to happen. So, but now that the price is coming down a little bit, I think we'll be able to play with it. But CBG might be a good answer for you. If I'll see if I can't source some products for you to try. But I've heard some good success with CBG and sleep. So
yeah, they're finding shit all the time, man. It's unreal.
It's amazing what happens when you can study something.
Yeah.
That
was so idiotic to me that there was only like one university that was able to study it, and they used the worst ditch weed that you could possibly have.
Swag.
Yeah. And
assisted new shit.
Yeah. And it was like, why were you not at least studying that shit? Fucking what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's
control.
And you look at some places like Israel. Israel was using as in medicine. It was part of their medicine, their regular medicine, for 30, 40 years, the last 50 years. Right. You know, it's mind blowing.
It's kind of like Wizard of Oz and the guy behind the curtain. Like, pay no attention. Don't look over here. Nothing to see.
Yeah.
You know, it's smoke and mirrors.
Yeah,
it really is. It's smoke and mirrors.
I saw that you shot some new episodes of Convicted Creations, right?
No, we're getting ready to start season 2.
Sweet.
We've had quite a few interest people come out and say, "Whoa, are you doing that again?" And Trey loves doing it. So yeah, we're putting together a season 2. If people want to get involved, just go to Trey at wecrushthebox.com. Give him an email, and we'll get you on the list. I think we do like 6 or 8 episodes a day. If I can get 6 or 8 each one, that'll give us a good season that we can rock out and produce. So yeah, if people want to come on and tell their story about being in prison and make some cuisine with me, then
for people who don't know what it is, it's about the creative ways people come up with to make meals in prison, right?
Yeah, you know, Convicted Creations is a couple things. It's a cookbook, it's a cooking show, and it's a survival guide. The book's really turned into more of a survival guide. What not to do or what other people have done in prison. I know that when I went in the first time, nobody gave me a warning shot. Nobody showed me how it was going to go. Yeah. Luckily, I'd been in the childhood system, the juvie system, for a long time. It's no different. It's just a bunch of older, crazy people. So I had a little heads up on it. That's why I think the book's such a good idea. You never know when you're going to get hemmed up and have to go do a year. I mean, you just don't know. DUIs happen. You know what I mean?
They shouldn't.
Someone pisses you off.
My lesson.
Punch them in the mouth. Shit happens. But it's nice to have a guide. You know, I'll show you what to do. With.
Well, what's the best like recipe that like ever? Like, is there something you still eat that you make?
Not one of them. Not one of them. No.
Fuck, why would you? Yeah.
You know, because
I don't know. Well, maybe like because I've heard of people
nostalgia.
they take stuff out of the vending machines and just
they do.
You know, mold them together. Maybe it's just amazing, and you're like, holy shit! You still
it's only amazing when you've smelled feet and ass for 6 months and you haven't had Pizza Hut. Yeah, you smash a couple honey buns and smear it with peanut butter. It tastes like birthday cake. I don't know why, but it tastes like birthday cake. No, I think probably the neatest one, the coolest one, was the ice cream in the dryer. I thought that was pretty innovative. You would take ice. You could buy an ice ticket and go buy a bag of ice, and you break the ice up, put it in plastic. We steal the milk cartons out of the chow hall, pour the milk in there, a little coffee creamer, Pop-Tart, give it some flavor, throw it in a dryer with no heat, and you just let it tumble. No bullshit. 45 minutes later, it's like a Pop-Tart slushie. And we walk around the yard, and I'd have the youngsters selling them $5 a pop.
Shit.
And that was probably it's the most creative and probably the most lucrative. You know, you could
sounds tasty. I mean,
that and I don't know, suckers. We'd make take Jolly Ranchers and melt them into liquid, and then take Skittles, put them. You take your Ladmo bag, your sandwich bag, keep your plastic, and you line a soda lid with it. Put the Skittle in the middle of it and pour the hot candy into it so it molds to the shape of the lid. take a Q-tip, a clean one, take the cotton off, use that as your sucker stick,
yeah.
and bam, take some little cardboard box, poke holes in it, put all your suckers in it, and kid walks around and sells them for $1.
Damn, dude.
It's just being
It's
creative.
like a fucking
man.
swap meet in the joint,
Yeah.
dude. You have to put signs on your locker that say, tell don't come over here selling shit.
Well, this might be a dumb question, but are you allowed to, or if you get caught from the
Technically,
guards,
I
do they
mean,
get pissed?
I think legally, policy wise, you're not supposed to do it, but the
Let 'em
the
fucking do
guards
it.
don't want no shit either. If everyone's calm and everyone's cool and it's just people doing a little side hustle, nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? And you can't stop people from eating. They're gonna buy Doritos if they want to eat them all smashed up and with top ramen poured in it. What are you gonna say to them?
Yeah.
The big thing is like we would get huge trash bags and fill the mop buckets and make menudo or tamales in there, and they don't like that shit when you're using all the trash bags or the stealing their gloves that they search your
Stealing their
house
shit,
with.
yeah.
They don't like that shit, but you know what? It's prison. It's fucking prison.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're in there with a bunch of convicts, so somebody's gonna steal something. I mean, it's gonna happen. So, I think the coolest part of the show though is the fact that people can counsel their way through a really shitty time of their life. That's really what it's about, is us making fun of ourselves. And
I know the perfect guest, fucking Rich.
Yeah.
'Cause he was in prison.
oh, we'd love it.
He's
Get him on. Let's
he's
link him with Trey.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, I want to pay homage too, because Billy McMaster, rest in peace. Billy's the one of my buddies. We called him Irish. I met him in prison. Ex-heroin addict, good guy, really good guy. I got tired of going to jail, quite frankly. His last time he went in, he got 7 years. He's a dad. He realized that being a dad and a family member was way more important than wasting your time rotting in jail. I met him because I'm a Chiefs fan and he's not. He was a Denver fan. So I had just moved on to this new yard in Kingman, and he came up to my bed and he kicks my bed and he goes, kind of nods at me, and I look at him and I go, "What's up?" And he goes, "You and I can't be friends." And I look at him and I'm like, "Well, get the fuck out of here then." And he holds his Denver Broncos sign up, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, really, get the fuck out of here." Like, I mean it. And we were totally joking, laughing,
Yeah,
you
totally,
know.
yeah.
But at that time, you're looking for a friend, really. I mean, it's nice
Yeah.
to have someone you can trust in there. He was the guy that, somebody would come around my locker that shouldn't be there. He'd be the pit bull getting them out of my stuff, or, and I was one of the guys that ran one of our buildings, so he would watch my back all the time. But more often than not, the prison's set up to break your ass and make you come back. So the phones never work. You get one 15-minute phone call and that shit will shut off in the middle of it. It'll charge you the whole $8 and you can't call back. But, after 9, 10, 12 months of that shit, you just lose your shit. I lost it. The phone hung up on me one day and I turned into Mike Tyson, dude. I ripped this motherfucking phone off the wall. I was crying. I was punching the wall. Like, I'm so sick of this place. I don't want to fucking be here anymore. I can't do it.
That's what they want.
And Billy walks up to me. Iris walks right up to me, just grabs me by my shirt and he goes, "Let's go for a walk." Start walking around the track. He's like, "Brother, you're not here long enough to do that stupid shit. You know it. I know it. Get the fuck home. Go home." So we had such a good rapport when we would eat meals together. That's the big sacred time in there is meal time. It's the time when all the shit goes down, because you're in the chow hall, and that's where all the races are together. That's where all the cops are together. That's usually where the shit jumps off. So we would take personal time and have meals away from the chow hall, and that's where the cookbook came from, where everyone's different recipes would get exchanged, and just years of people doing time and us talking about it and learning about it. So I write it all down, and Billy comes to me one day. He's like, "Your dumb ass is going to make a book out of it, ain't you?" And I look at him, I'm like, "Why do you say that?" He goes, "I just know how you are. I know your personality. You're going to go make a book out of that shit." And honestly, at the time, I had never thought about it. I mean, I didn't think I'd show it. Who wants to know that we eat soggy ass fucking donuts and call it birthday cake? Like, I mean, nobody wants to know that shit. Well, after meeting Trey's like, you're wrong. 20,000 people a day Google what people eat in prison. I'm like, what? That's real? That's a real stat? So we took it from the book and published it to where now it's a cooking show. I felt like it was better that we could touch more people and reach out to more people and get their stories heard if we actually brought them on the show. So when they come on the show, we make a product that they've actually made in jail, and then I take their story and I put it in the book.
That's cool.
So it's just something that kind of keeps giving. The book will always continue to grow. And since then, we've started a nonprofit called zonkamiles.org. And every part of the sale from the book goes to the nonprofit. And the nonprofit's a twofold nonprofit. It not only helps inmates coming home that are in jail for cannabis, but I had to take a step back and realize, like, well, what good is it going to do to keep helping these dudes to just keep getting arrested? Because I can't change the laws by myself. I can't get rid of their priors for them. It's, you know, we're in this cycle that's never going to change. We got to go to the root. We got to go to the beginning and think about all those kids that are in the juvenile system that are turning 18. What happens when they turn 18? They don't get given a house and a car and a job and told, welcome to your new adult life. It's fuck you, good luck, I hope you figure it out. And 9 out of 10 of those people don't figure it out, and they end up in jail. And it's usually something petty, a pot charge, stealing food from Safeway store, or, you know.
I could have very easily gotten caught with
right.
I had so many fucking close calls, dude.
That's why the nonprofit had to be twofold. That's why we have to attack I feel like it starts with the education and teaching the kids simple stuff like writing a check, filling out an application, getting a job, you know, little stuff, little things. I remember I was a kid at 17 being emancipated and ran through the independent living program. They didn't show me any of that shit. I didn't know any of that shit. I had my own apartment at 18, but I couldn't tell you how to write the check for rent.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
What were you saying? And what did that do for you? It gave you a party spot.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
fuck yeah.
I was
totally.
the biggest, I was the most popular guy in school.
Fuck yeah.
I went from the group home kid to the kid with an apartment.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I could not wait to move out and get an apartment and be on my own. And that's exactly what happened. It was just a smoke and drink house.
And without guidance and without program and without structure, what happens?
I moved back.
Yeah. Or like me, I went to prison.
Yeah.
You know, that
but
was the
you know
only
what?
difference.
I probably should have went to prison for about 20 bonehead things I fucking did.
If I would have had family, I wouldn't have. I think I would have been able to, you know, military or something else. But because I had nobody, it was like, oh, you belong lockdown.
Yeah, we were just talking about that so much of kids growing up nowadays.
Broke the seal.
So many kids growing up nowadays, they don't have anything like they've struggled to get through.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't know that struggle.
Or if it was a struggle, it wasn't the same level of a struggle to, you know.
Yeah.
They took something little and all of a sudden it was blown up to a really big struggle. And there's, I don't know, there's a different definition for struggle, I guess, for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of kids nowadays, they don't know how to, they don't know how to fail. They don't know how to fail and you know, deal with failure.
Yeah.
And they're pussies.
Well, honestly, I feel like as soon as they, you know, quit letting us discipline our kids, like, you can't even tell your kid to go to timeout anymore. They're going to blast you on social media and make you look like a child abuser or something. You know, I'm not saying spank your kid or beat your kid, but when you walk in and you can be, maybe the fear of God, I guess, is like how my mom used to say it. You know, I would never do what my mom did or follow what my mom was like, but that fear, the little bit of, hey,
you should have
I don't want to get in trouble. Not, I don't want to get my teeth knocked in.
Yeah.
Just, no, I don't want, you got to understand consequence.
Yes.
You have to understand there's a consequence. You can't coddle everything.
For everything you do, there is a consequence.
Good, bad, and different.
Yeah. Whether it's good or bad, there's something that's going to happen. If you act like an asshole, you might get popped in the mouth.
But I don't know. The old days of, you know, I remember my dad used to tell me all the time, go pick a switch and bend over the bed. How many times did you actually get hit with it?
Yeah.
Rare. It was rare. But the thought of it actually maybe one day going down kept me in line. Like, cool. I don't want that switch, you know. But you even say that shit now. You're in the news. You're a child abuser. He's gonna whip his kid with a stick. No, that's not that wasn't the premise there. Not at all. You know, you ask any one of my 5 kids, I couldn't tell you the last time I spanked any of them. But the thought of me doing it checks their shit right now. You know what I mean?
There's also a big disconnect with like the sense of community and you know that.
Man, that's a combo, don't you think? I feel like it's a combo of a lot of things happening at once. You know, the social media's kind of started it off to where we're disengaged with each other unless it's with buttons in between or digital, and
Yeah, there's bigger communities online than there is in their normal communities.
yeah, and it's normal now.
I think it's gonna get to like Ready Player One, where virtual reality is gonna be so fucking awesome that people are gonna live their lives in there
Virtual.
and be completely disconnected from like real life. You know how badass virtual reality is right now?
Yeah.
And imagine in 10 years, dude, and you have the full suit on and stuff, and you say you're playing like a World of Warcraft style game, but virtual reality, dude.
You get so wrapped up.
You're
in
gonna get
that.
so kids are gonna get so fucking hooked into that, dude. They're never gonna. They don't already know how to deal with real life. You know.
That's how it is now. Just watching them with phones. Video games.
We're slowly becoming robots or like cyborgs.
automated
Totally.
AI.
Totally, yeah.
It's crazy, man. Scary. But that is what progress is, you know. Nothing will
Change.
ever be. Yeah, that nothing will ever be like people are gonna always saying. Is it ever gonna go back to like it used to be?
Nope.
No.
It never
No.
ever,
Nope.
and it'll never go like back to what it's used to be. We're always moving forward. We're always changing, a constant. And this to circle back all the way to our original discussion that we're always in a constant motion, and you know things change in life, and just as long as you can just get up the next day and just tell yourself, hey, this is what it is, and we're just gonna get through it.
Yep.
We're just gonna get through it. So
Gotta love each other.
I like to look at the opposite way, where you know when you see like those little memes or pictures where it just shows you how small of a particle you are compared to the galaxy, and just I think I really don't matter. Like my problems don't matter. None of this matters.
It's so
you know?
small.
Just get dark about it.
That's right.
No.
I just try
You
to
don't do
stay
that?
on the. I try to stay
That
on the
makes me
big topic.
sad.
It makes me sad.
I mean, if you think about it, like when Jordan's like complaining or fucking bitch, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. Like
that's a good thing to think though.
you,
Like
you ever
to-
seen that picture where it shows like a human being and then it scrolls
are
out
here.
slowly and then
Yeah.
all the way to the state, then the United States and the Earth, and fucking you see all the planets and you realize, fuck.
Eh?
And
I'm
you're
a
stressing
little-
about fucking.
I'm a
I don't
speck
even
of
know.
dust.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah.
that's
It's fucking
why
nice.
you know, fucking thank God for cannabis. You know, we were talking earlier. I want to say something real quick. You were talking earlier.
Yeah.
This is funny that I thought about this. You were talking about how you want to get to that point where you do freak out and you do
An anxiety
people-
attack
and
on
people-
edibles.
You know what? As soon as I told myself in my head, you know, fucking
The universe will guide you.
yeah, basically that anxiety shit is fake. It's all like I never have anxiety
No,
attacks
it's not
anymore.
fake. It's just you learn to channel it
Yeah.
and realize, like, because most people just have the anxiety, like, fuck edibles. But the anxiety is the best part once you realize that
how to channel it.
how
yeah.
to channel it and like the perspective it gives you, the
Yeah.
different kinds of thoughts. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah.
I've never done that. Have you done that?
Reset. Absolutely.
Really?
Reset.
You've done ayahuasca?
I would suggest it. Just
Well, we do like DMT and shit, which
Yeah.
is like a shorter version of ayahuasca, but
it's a journey. It's definitely.
I don't
a
know if
journey.
I'd want to commit, because the reason why I love DMT is because it's just a 15-minute blast
Control,
off and
yeah.
back.
Ayahuasca's
The ayahuasca
like
seems like you
6
got
hours
fucking
of
travel.
shitting
after
yourself.
sitting and crying, fucking throwing up, the weird dude
Yeah,
blowing
I w-
smoke in your face, fucking
I wouldn't.
chanting.
I wouldn't do it again. But I did have a reset. I did have a
We all need that.
conscious reset. for
I
sure.
like that with mushrooms.
Yeah.
for sure.
I was
You know,
just
my last mushrooms, I had a rough go.
That's probably good though.
I had muscle spasms.
Oh, no.
so bad. For
I've
like
had that happen
6
before.
Hours, like the cold chills, muscle spasms. I sat there for 6 hours just like that, and I was so sore the next day I couldn't
Dude,
barely
the-
walk.
Only bad mushroom trip I ever had was when episode 2 came out, and me and Bad Looking saw it in the Dollar Theater on Bell, 19th
Oh,
or
shit.
whatever, I-17 in Bell, and we took a shit ton of mushrooms, and my leg just started fucking twitching
Spasming,
like
yeah.
bad, and in my stupid brain I convinced myself, like, I actually asked Bad Luck, I go, hey, isn't your heart a muscle? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And then I was like,
Uh-oh.
shit, I was like, if this is a muscle and then my
That's
heart's
a
a muscle,
muscle.
I was like, my heart's gonna start spasming, and I just fucking freaked out, dude.
Yeah, then it
And I
goes all
dropped Bad
bad.
Looking off, and I went home, and I ended up taking like 5 or
Sat there
6.
like this the whole time.
No, that's coke.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I did something even worse. I took like 6 fucking sleeping meds.
Oh, jeez.
And could not sleep.
Yeah.
I was just tripping even harder.
Hallucinating.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh man.
The
What a
only
nightmare.
thing
More
That's the only
is
bad
not
trip I've
better.
ever had.
The only thing that kills a fucking mushroom trip is Xanax. You gotta have.
I didn't have.
Xanax.
I was like 17. I didn't
Yeah.
like have.
I
access
can't.
to
I
Xanax
can't
at
do
that time.
mushrooms anymore because I fucking for some reason I just sit there and throw up every 15 minutes
Wow.
for like 6 hours.
That's terrible.
It's fucking horrible.
That's terrible.
And it lasts
I haven't
like
done
6
them in
times.
a while. The last time I did, I had that spasm so bad. I was like, I'm cool.
I was actually talking to this one of the I went and picked up some wraps at the smoke shop, and we were talking about mushrooms, and I talked to the guy. We were talking about politics and mushrooms, and I was like,
politics. And
well, kind
oh,
of like
how I say every
yeah.
politician should
I
take
said-
mushrooms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said my buddy thinks that every politician should have to take a heroic dose. That's what we need to do.
Change.
Yes.
Be the change.
Let them have the reset, right?
Well, just because, I mean, I know I've said this a million times on the podcast, but like to me, the benefits of mushrooms is, yeah, you have fun, you laugh for 6 hours and shit, but there's 30 minutes of, and it's not in a row. It's like 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, where you're like, why wasn't I an asshole to so and so the other day, or oh, I haven't talked to this friend in such a long time, or this and that, and it feels shitty while you're swimming thinking of these thoughts, but then the next day you fucking call that motherfucker, you say
Make it
sorry,
right,
you
yeah.
make it right, and you become a better person. It's the shittiest part of the mushroom experience while it's happening, but it's the best part overall.
Yeah.
And
Awareness.
and I try to do a heroic dose every 2 years. I'm actually overdue for one. The last one I did was so fucking intense. My girlfriend dropped me off at my buddy's house. He put on fucking one of those planet shows where it shows like the ocean, and
Oh, yeah.
he fucking went upstairs and left me downstairs by myself. But I was just like this the whole time, like just thinking about life and organisms and all this crazy shit. But like by the time my girlfriend Jordan picked me up at 2 a.m, dude, my hair was all fucked up. I looked like I went to war, dude. I don't even know what the fuck happened. But like,
That's a lot of
but those things happen, like I was talking about, where I really had those thoughts of like, you know, certain people I haven't talked to, or just being an asshole in general.
Do you ever look into maybe dealing with mushrooms and the places that are thinking about legalizing it? And
Yeah, we've talked about it actually, because my wife has cluster migraines.
fucking A, I got them too.
And we have microdosed her for a long time. That's how I got really into it.
Yep.
And started taking them myself, was because of treating her cluster migraines with them. It's been amazing. That's one of my charges that I went to prison for. It was 22 grams of mushrooms.
Oh my god.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, they're class 2 narcotics.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
They don't fuck around.
Well, they're starting to do more studies on that, and like legit.
Colorado's legalizing, aren't they? Or
Yeah.
about to.
In Oregon, too?
Decriminalizing, I
Decrimin-
think.
yeah.
I think Oregon is too.
I think Oregon too, yeah.
I don't, Arizona will get their shit together sooner or later. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, hey, at least fucking Sheriff Arpaio didn't fucking
How
have
the fuck could that guy
I
run?
know. I know.
Because of the pardon? The pardon allowed him
Yeah.
to run? Is that how that goes?
I guess. But why
And I can't rent a movie?
why did
Like,
he
I don't get that. I got 15 felonies.
I don't get that part. Where you can't rent a movie.
It's, well, like your
It's
credit.
a joke, yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
your credit's so bad. I went to Hollywood Video back in the day. My credit was so bad they wouldn't let me rent a movie. I was like, what? Are you serious? This is stupid.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that he even thought that it would be something smart to
I thought
even run.
I thought he was running for Senate. I drove by. It was real early going to work, and I saw the sign, Arpaio, and I thought it said Senate. I was like, what? Run the sign over. Like,
that guy was such a douchebag, man.
Really was. Really was. I isn't there an age limit? I mean, he's like 80,
Yeah,
isn't
I thought he was half
Yeah.
dead.
he? God, I could hear him getting older.
Well, that's fucking look at what the guy who's running now. I mean, that guy's fucking super old. Like,
That guy can't even complete a sentence.
I don't think he's gonna even. I don't think he's meant to be. He's meant to be the president. The Democrats want him to like go up there and die in
front guy.
office.
The front man.
They're expecting him to die in office.
They'll poison his ass.
Yeah.
They would do that.
Fuck yeah, dude. Make him jump out of a window or something.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed when I got my rights to vote back. I was like,
It's
these
sad.
options suck.
Yeah, it's sad.
Guess I'm going third party.
Yeah, I don't.
What
know,
is the
man.
third party?
Just
Joe Jurgis.
Yeah.
Jurgensen?
Kanye?
I just
Kanye.
I just at some point I just say to myself I don't even want to vote.
I'm gonna vote for The Rock 2024.
The Rock. Can you smell what he's got cooking?
I
I think he'll run.
I really
I would
thought
vote for Joe Rogan.
everybody would, but he's not smart.
He would
He's
do
so
it.
smart. He's
smart
not gonna
He's
run.
smart enough not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
400
would
million
I
in
think the only
Texas.
reason why he would is to see if there's aliens or not.
You know what they need to do is
Because he wants to know so bad.
I know. I
He knows there is.
I feel like
Maybe.
I feel like there should be some type of like system where it isn't just one guy. You know what I mean? Like
No, yeah, totally. The fact that it's just one fucking guy in charge of fucking, what is it, 380 million people? That's ridiculous. This whole system, wasn't this whole system built on guys that, when they were writing with feathers?
yeah, yeah,
So I think it's time for a new fucking system, right?
yeah. Fucking A. What do you think about all the craziness going on in like Portland and stuff?
Oh, the rioting.
Yeah.
And all, man, I think our country's in trouble. I think we're heading for a major clash in a civil war style is what it feels like.
Man,
And I can't imagine it's not too much different than 200 years ago. That's what it seems like. We seem pretty archaic.
Totally.
They're just destroying shit. and
Do you think
burning
it's
shit.
maybe the media is making it worse than it seems?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have people in the same areas up there that give you different feedback than what you see on the news.
Like,
Yeah.
what's some of that feedback?
Well, I've got farmers that live up there and say there's a lot more peace and a lot more, love going on than they're showing. They're showing all the concentrated areas
Totally.
of really bad. Not that it's not happening, but
Yeah.
they're just focusing on that part.
Because
So-
like they made Seattle sound like, well, it was a war zone, that area, the section, but I had a friend go there and I was like, what was it like? She's like, it's completely
talking
normal.
about?
It's just that section.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
the media is like, oh my God, Seattle's
Check
burning
this out.
down.
Yeah. And then I don't know, I'm
Sorry.
not there, but that's what I hear. That's what I get when because I'm the same way. Like, tell me what's happening up there. Who can we talk to? Like, tell me what's happening. And I don't know. Just concentrated areas seem to be pretty shitty. I just, I get marching and making a change. I agree with it 1,000%. And I agree with, by any means necessary. I've been in that position where people aren't listening and we got to get them to listen.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, but as a business owner, you have to understand you
you
can't
cross
fucking
the
go
line.
and riot a fucking
No, you
store.
definitely cross the line when you start destroying things that aren't going to make a difference
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Other than destroying someone else's life.
yeah,
That doesn't make a change or a point.
it's been
in my
co-opted.
opinion.
The actual movement that was just and right has been co-opted for money,
Yeah.
and that's the biggest problem.
Hey, look, people have the right to be mad.
Yeah,
People
fucking
have
A.
the right for
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
Totally.
And,
I think
procedures need to be changed.
and I think until that happens, we're not going to see anything different.
Yeah,
for
there's.
sure.
It's sad because I remember years ago, fucking Ari Shafir would always say, nothing's gonna change until the violence happens.
Yes.
And now the violence is happening.
He was right.
Yeah, and
He's
that's
canceled.
sad. Yeah, and they
And he's
canceled his
canceled.
ass. Yeah.
Do you remember all that Kobe shit?
Yeah.
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 Well, I don't believe in cancel culture, so I still left my signed Ari Shafir poster on the wall. I'm proud of that.
Right.
He made one bad joke. Give the guy a break.
It happens.
I don't agree with what he said, but
Yeah. It happens.
don't cancel him. Come on. Did you see what's the guy's name that created Rick and Morty? Dan Harmon?
Yeah.
Did you see the video that he did? Oh my God. They already tried canceling him 2 years ago for this, and he already apologized and all this shit. I guess the video popped up again, and just with Twitter and cancel culture, they tried canceling him again. But dude, he fucking filmed this video like 10 years ago of literally like his friend having a baby, and then his friend leaves and he sneaks in through the window, and then it shows him pull his pants down, go up to the baby, start fucking it, and it's
Whoa.
making crying noises, and then it's like supposed to be funny, and I was like, what the
Yikes.
fuck? The creator of fucking Rick and Morty, dude, and also Community. He created
Really?
Community and all that
That's
shit.
fucking.
It's one of the
weird, dude.
weirdest, craziest, fucked up videos I've ever seen. And like the thing is like
glad I
about it
didn't
is
see
though,
that.
Yeah.
you don't want to watch it unless you're like, what the fuck? But
Can't
yeah, they're trying to
unsee
cancel him again, which I still don't agree with canceling him. And I'm not saying I agree with the video or anything like that, but like 10 years ago, I had friends who had, I don't want to say they'd make a video like that, but they would say fucked up, crazy jokes.
Yeah.
Only because they want to get
Shock
that
value.
shock factor.
Yeah.
It's not even about like the laugh to them is people going,
Well,
you
think
know what I
about
mean?
think about Howard Stern. Like Howard Stern could never do what he did in this culture nowadays.
Oh, like on the radio
Yeah.
in his OG days, like with the
Yeah.
porn stars and all that shit.
Oh, he could never get away with the shit he was doing.
He get death threats.
Yeah. He would he'd be done.
Yeah, I fucking kind of believe this fucking video, but I still don't believe with canceling him. I mean, like I said, he already did apologize. The video's fucked up.
Here's what is amazing though, and this is what I was gonna bring this up earlier. I'm glad I remembered it. Is we have the ability now to have YouTube and streaming, where there's so many things that we can put up and watch and choose to watch, and it's very easy to put shit up there. You're like you're doing your show, your Convicted Creations on there, and you're you're doing all kinds of stuff, and all kinds of people are just seeing stuff that they would never see before. That is good content that is not in too much of a way, formed by another group.
You mean like a network?
Yeah, like a network.
That's the best thing of YouTube
Yeah.
is that you don't have to fucking a network going, you can't say
Can't do
that,
that,
or you can't
yeah.
do that. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck you, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
And people are putting out really good, professional, entertaining
And
content.
it's more organic and raw. Like, it just makes me think of all the television and all the content I watched before the internet, that even music. Like, if you think of all the bands we've ever grown up and liked, that's only because these assholes in business suits decided that these are going to be the major bands. Like, if we didn't go out of our way to find the underground bands that we listen to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we'd be
Wouldn't hear
listening.
'em.
You would never know
Wouldn't
about
find
them.
'em.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The greatest band ever we never heard of because they didn't make it.
Totally.
That's right.
The greatest guitar player,
Yeah.
Mike. My buddy's so sick, but like no one will ever know about him.
Isn't that crazy?
I know, yeah.
It's on who you know.
Yes. Yes.
Who you know.
That's another thing that you should be fucking teaching kids is fucking networking.
Right.
Yeah, you. He's all
Yeah.
pointing at you. He's like,
Well,
like,
remember
calm down.
he was talking about how he's doing the twofold thing
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
with,
yeah,
nonprofit.
totally,
with a
totally.
nonprofit.
Absolutely.
Kids should learn that networking is a skill that is very much needed as an adult.
You know, we partnered with the Leaf Academy, and Sonia Gomez, she donated 10 classes of what it is it's a 6 weeks curriculum that you go and learn how to produce, manufacture, and market a product that you can bring to market. So it like teaches you everything from development to packaging, manufacturing, labeling it, and then bringing it into sales market. And they've offered to give us 10 of those classes for anyone from coming home from jail or, aging out of the system. So our goal is to teach those kinds of things to the kids and from every aspect possible.
Yeah, that's dope.
Hell yeah.
It's cool when you can network and get those kinds of people together. 'Cause without going to prison, I wouldn't have met those kinds of people. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing coming out of a shitty situation.
Yep. And you never know who you're gonna run into next, and gonna be some fucking major opportunity.
Oh, it's wild, man. My last show I did, I had Weldon Angelos on. I don't know if you heard his story or the show, but he was charged with, I think he was looking at 109 years for 3 sales of $900 of cannabis. And he was a music producer that worked with Snoop Dogg and Tupac and Ice Cube. And the feds thought that he could probably link him in with bigger guys. And
Oh, damn.
they busted him federally. So minimum mandatory was like 55 years or something. The judge convicted him because it was minimum mandatory. But the judge felt so bad about the sentence, he quit the bench and lobbied to get Weldon out of jail.
Wow.
So after 18 years, he served. The judge, the Koch brothers, his sister, his whole family got him out of prison because
shit.
the judge went to have the law overturned. Talk about coming from love and
How often does that
compassion.
happen?
Never.
I know, exactly.
Never.
Holy
That's
shit.
why I wanted him on
It's-
the show.
Damn, that's
why-
amazing, dude.
If your judge does that,
Holy
it shouldn't
shit.
take that long. If a judge goes, "Hey, listen, I was wrong," then that shit should be like, if you give him the power to put somebody away, you should give him the power to say that there was something wrong.
They don't wanna do that, though.
It shows that it can be done.
Yeah,
It shows
It
that
shouldn't
these
take
lazy
18
ass
years.
judges that sit up there and say, I can't do anything about it. It's minimum mandatory. I have to sentence you to this. They're full of shit.
Yeah.
It's all
You
just
can
a wins
walk
and losses game,
It is.
right? Because
It is.
you have to watch that
96.
podcast with Joe Rogan. I don't know if you saw that one where he had the two guys all about getting people who are wrongly convicted. It's an amazing podcast. And they talk about how with all these DA and prosecutors and
Right.
judges, it's really, they have everything in front of their face telling them that this guy didn't do this murder
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck. And they're just, their pride and they just
Pride
win
and
just
financing.
the financing. They
the
just
money
can't.
that they've spent to investigate somebody, they can't just wash that shit. It was $2 million on my rate. $2 million investigation. You think I'm
Jesus.
going to walk? They're not going to let me just walk.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got to make their money back.
I lost my asset forfeiture a
Yeah.
year into the case. I had never even been convicted of anything yet. And I lost the asset forfeiture. They took my house, my cars, everything I owned for 25 years was gone before I was even convicted of a felony. Because when asset forfeiture happens, those items go straight to the police department. They don't go into a fund. They don't go into, get auctioned off for other people to use. They go straight to the police department. So you think for a second those dudes are going to hesitate to kick the fucking doors in?
Yeah.
No, that's all their shit. Dude, I got video of the cop riding my Harley around Prescott. Riding my
Oh,
Harley.
jeez.
I have video. Other club members sending me video of the cop riding my bike around town. I'm just like, over what? Over a
Yeah.
candy bar?
Yep.
All insane because it's incentive. It's all incentive driven. I mean, look at Yavapai County. I was just up there. They've got Sheila Polk's big ass head on a billboard as you're coming in Prescott Valley. And she's the DA up there that hates pot. She's the anti.
Yeah, you would think that
she
like
is-
Flagstaff and
Like a-
Prescott would be all about that.
Oh, no. Have you ever been to Prescott? Like
Yeah.
where the rehabs are?
No.
Oh, no. Go watch Intervention. Every 3 shows is in Prescott.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's like, they call it Whiskey Row downtown.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it-
I know people have gone to that one.
There's
actually.
more
Isn't
rehabs
it
there
more
than-
like it's expensive?
Oh,
kind of?
yeah.
Yeah. Because that's why I've never gone there. I've been to every rehab in Arizona
No,
except
up
for
there
those
is
ones.
high
yeah.
end. No,
Yeah.
that's the one.
And they pay. The show pays for it.
Yes.
So yeah.
And they're expensive, but they're all over, and that's where she makes her money. Sheila Polk actually got in trouble, or I don't know if she's gotten in trouble for it. She should be in prison, just like the owner. She took $500,000 in investment money from NC's, and we all know where the CEO of NC's is sitting now for racketeering and raising the prices of illegal narcotics. He's in prison. She took money from them because of all her rehabs that she has up there. She has vested interest in rehabs. That's exactly why she's so anti-pot. Like she is. Well, now Yavapai granted, she hasn't had a running mate for, against her for her district attorney position. I don't know how many years. We're talking 20, 30 years.
Wait, doesn't
no one
like
runs against her.
So that's crazy.
She wins by default every single time.
Dude, you should go up there, bro.
There's a dude running against her right now, Stringer. He's like ex-KKK member. He got busted. He got busted with sex crimes with an 11 and a 14-year-old boy. Yeah, yeah.
So
I
how
just
often do you
That
guys
kind
do-
of feels like a setup.
I'm like, this is the options you get.
Yeah, that's a
She
setup.
paid this
Yeah.
dude to run. It
Yeah.
has to be. Yeah, when I saw that,
make
I
her
went,
look way better.
the one person
Yeah.
that finally runs against her has been like arrested more times than me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How often do they vote in? And is it supposed to
What
be?
is it,
like
every
4 years or something? 4
I
years?
think?
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, and she's ran. I know she's been the DA up there since I've lived there, and I moved there in 95, 96. So she's been there the whole time.
They have so much fucking power too.
And that's the largest county in the state. That used to be the capital. Prescott used to be the capital.
It's
there
bigger than
somewhere.
Maricopa?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yavapai is bigger. Not
Not
per
like
capita,
population wise, but
square footage wise,
footage, yeah.
Yavapai is bigger. Yavapai
Damn.
is huge. And a lot of old money up there.
totally.
A lot of old money.
Yeah, you would really think that the cannabis community culture would be huge up in there.
If they could get rid
But
of...
that's why you'd want to go and retire there to go
That's
smoke
what I mean.
weed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
A lot of it's California. A lot of retired Californians come up there and retire. And they take over the little towns and just run it and say, we don't want that shit here. And why? control. I think it's mainly because the jails, the prisons, and the rehabs.
They can make. I don't know.
They
I'm
could.
probably this is bro fucking math, but I feel like they can make so
They
much
can.
more money off of cannabis than the
We know
narcotics.
that. Everyone knows that. Absolutely. Who's gonna run it? Who's gonna take control of that? That's where the rat race ends right now. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
Who's gonna run that? We all know what it can do. I mean, look, we just spent the last 80 years getting convinced it was bullshit and it wasn't medicine and it was garbage and blah. And now look, now it's essential.
That's hilarious.
It's
I know.
a fight to the top now, right? Who's gonna get?
I'm
that
glad it's
business?
essential, but I can't help but laugh at it.
Yeah.
Too.
You know how
We
funny that is.
I'm kind of like ding ding ding. We told you, right?
Yeah.
Like I fucking told you so.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
come on.
But they're
shit.
going ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. We still own this.
Yeah.
It's a,
Ding,
it's
ding,
a-
ding. Yeah. Huh?
Fuck you. That's a mess. I mean, it's neat to be on one side of history where you're trying to help make a change and people hopefully remember you for that. But, I mean, I never thought we'd be talking about it. Not as a kid in high school trying to stash that shit in my fucking sock and run from the cops. I never thought I'd be on the other end of it. So it's cool to see the progress that we have made in a little short period of time. But the joke is up, man.
Well, what about hemp farming? Like in general, it's going up too. I mean,
it's a lot like cannabis. It got saturated with a bunch of rich guys coming in and wanting to grow everything and overgrow the industry and drop the price on everything. It's the same thing. It is.
yeah,
It's the same.
Just like anything that's
it's
commercial.
another game.
Yeah, well, and when you only make it a Schedule 3 instead of a Schedule 1, so only now one brand of CBD is legal and not anyone else's. It's just so fucking semantic. It's semantics. You're splitting hairs, and honestly, you should be able to grow hemp in your yard, and you should be able to grow cannabis as long as you're not neighbors fucking your plants up. But
Yeah,
we should be able to. Why they
it's a
don't tell me
plant.
what to do with my tomato plants?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I eat them every day.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Hopefully
weird
we'll
thing.
one day. Hopefully we'll one
It's a
day
fucking
get to
plant.
that point. Yeah.
So weird.
We'll keep fighting until we are.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Well, I would be a bad dog owner because Jordan left to her dad's, and I got to let Gertie out
Yeah,
really
yeah,
quick.
no,
so
no,
I don't know.
we gotta
I could
fucking-
I could do this for like 5 more
I
hours
know,
to be honest with you.
I
So I don't know, but
I know.
I got to go let her out.
I'll
real
give
quick.
let me give shout outs and we'll call it.
I'll be right back.
Thanks for having me.
Fucking let's see here. Make sure you guys check out Tales from the Flip Side. We've got a new Star Wars show going on right now, so if you guys are Star Wars fans, check that out. Tales from the Flip Side on YouTube. Check out Mellow by Design CBD. All right, brother. Mellow by Design CBD. Check them out for all natural CBD. Mellow by Design. Check out Hempful Farms, of course. Always check out Hempful Farms. Everything. Just go follow Chris on Facebook, and your life will be better for it. Fucking who else? One of the crazy things is that we talk a lot about is just small businesses in general and all the shit that's going on right now. And man, I that's another thing that you guys are just fucking crazy for doing what you're doing. But thank you for doing it.
Yep.
Like the shit's crazy.
It's crazy.
Strong Heart Jiu-Jitsu, Strong Heart Academy, our buddy Mike Martin, he can't open his gym, and he just got done doing a huge fucking expansion right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Boom. Can't open his gym, can't do any of that shit. So shout out to Strong Heart. You guys go listen to his podcast, AZ80HD podcast, AZ80HD podcast, and check out his online training courses. Go check out Strong Heart Academy online. Anything else?
I want to give a shout out to Mark Valanzia. He gave me a good idea on how we, maybe at the end of the show to start just giving a positive message, and it was a message I can't agree with more, and that's just don't fucking drink and drive.
Fucking amen.
Obviously Mark was touched by that. He lost his brother to drinking and driving. We just recently lost a friend, so literally only 3 things are gonna happen. You're gonna fucking kill yourself, kill someone else, or get a fucking DUI. And everyone I know, it's one of those 3 things has happened. And you definitely don't want a DUI. I just fucking got over one. Cost
10
us
grand.
Like fucking 10 grand. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I was chasing that fucking puppy. But yeah, so And I'm serious about that, especially in this time with Ubers. There's really no reason not to drink and drive. And I know you fucking probably can handle your 6 to 8, 10 beers or whatever and think you're cool. But you will get pulled over for a fucking taillight or something will happen is what I'm trying to say. So don't fucking drink and drive.
Yeah. Call an Uber.
Call an Uber. And I just want to say thanks, Chris, man, for coming out and
Always, man.
talking to us. You're obviously welcome back anytime and shit. So.
Yeah, I'll bring the little one next time. We'll bring Andy and get her on and
Fuck yeah, dude.
get her chopping.
Totally.
She's shy, but get her talking.
Yeah,
Can't
well-
get her to stop.
Yeah, we'll do that. We should do that soon.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for having us, man. We appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
And that is a wrap on episode 96 of The Bogcast.
Bang.